Good and fair eve, my friends. Welcome back to the tavern. Looks like everything's functioning. I guess we'll see if that maintains throughout the rest of Storytime. The goblins have not been kind to us this past week, but it is looking overall like everything is functioning, so we'll call that a win. I'm going to be slouched down probably through most of this Storytime because I have a guest with me. Milo has decided he's gonna get up here and hang out on my lap. But no sleeping, sir. No sleeping. No sleeping. No sleeping. Yeah, he wanted to lay on the blanket that's on the chair. Story time for kiddies too. Tyson, Molly, Valkyrie, Teresa, hello, friends. Welcome in. Good to see you all. Jessica, hello. Good to see you. Welcome in. But yeah, so if I look like I'm leaning back, it's because he is halfway on my lap and partway on my the arm of the chair because he wanted to lay on the blanket and refused to take no for an answer. So I'm going to be looking much more relaxed this evening than I normally am during story time. But welcome in, everyone. How are we all enjoying ourselves? We are getting a wonderful deluge of rain out here, and it is mine and the lady's happy place when it rains. Yeah, him and the other animals haven't figured out that I don't like them, so they still come up and love on me no matter what. They haven't realized we're not friends, is what I should say. It's not that I don't like them; it's that we're not friends. We're not that close, I guess. Quirt, good to see you, my friend. Welcome in. Ross, hello, good evening. But yeah, he's not supposed to be sleeping this early in the day. So I'm trying to keep him awake. But Erin, hello, welcome in. But yes, he is my companion for the evening. I'm gonna do my best to keep him awake so that he will sleep properly tonight. They know they don't care. Yeah, he's just normally Milo will avoid me because until it's bedtime. He lays on me at sleep time because I'm very warm. My body creates a lot of heat. Uh, Beauty and Blasphemy, I don't know if you actually dropped in, but I saw your name, so hello, good to see you. Uh, but he usually avoids me because I'm the one who's waking him up all throughout the evening. Esther, hello and welcome in. Mary Beth, hello, good to see you. I too am trying to stay awake. Got a lovely one-day turnaround back to day shift. Very good. Well, that'll be good on the long term. It's wonderful to see. So again, I am leaning back not because I am trying to be relaxed, but because the cat is laying on me, and I'm trying to keep him awake. And again, normally he avoids me because I walk around and try to find him and wake him up when he's sleeping. Because if he sleeps during the day, he's a menace at night. So I spend the day walking around and picking him up and putting him back where he's supposed to go when he's sleeping. But today he doesn't seem to care. Ross, hello, good to see you. Welcome in. I'm up from 1 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Walk with Elsie at 4:30 a.m. That is a long day. Well, Milo's still a baby, so he's constantly getting into things. And okay, yeah. Well, and this is the thing is, I don't want him doing parkour at night because the lady has all kinds of decorative glass things, and decorative glass things do not meld well with rambunctious cats. And Milo has already almost cut himself twice since we've had him by breaking glass. So I want him to be worn out at night so he just sleeps and I don't have to worry about him cutting himself in the middle of the night. If I sleep now, I'll be up at 2 a.m. and tomorrow will be miserable. I have to make it through a 10-hour shift from 7 to 5 after working nights. It's gonna be a hell of an adjustment, that's sure. Yeah, and the fact that he is going to keep growing is wild, Jessica. He is so big. Yeah, see, Erin, you gotta take control of that environment. The animals. Esty said, I have an 8-year-old cat, sleeps all day and part of the night, and wants pats at 1 a.m. See, you gotta take kingship or queenship of your house. The animals eat and sleep when I tell them to. unless I am too busy to be in command down below, and then the lady is just like, yes, sleep and snuggle with me all day. Just be a cute little sleepy baby all day. And then they're running marathons at night. But yeah, I'm trying to keep him awake, but he just doesn't care right now. And if I let him up, if he goes somewhere else, he's just gonna go somewhere else and lay down and sleep. I think that it's entirely possible that Milo will get up to be over 20 pounds with how big he currently is. I don't know how big how heavy Bengals typically grow, but he's almost I'd say he's close to an 8 or 9 pound cat right now. Yeah, I think he's gonna get very close to 20 pounds. That's the best part about cats that like you. They're the best little weighted stuffies. Well, and that's the thing, is that they love laying with the lady. They love laying with her. So she'll sit on the couch or sit in her chair, or sometimes she'll work from the bedroom, and she'll just snuggle with the kitty cats while she's doing that. And then they'll fall asleep, and they'll sleep all day while they're snuggling her. And I'll come in, I'll be like, stop letting the cat sleep. And she's like, it's fine, he's not really asleep. Just like a mom to make excuses for her babies. They're heavy-boned cats like Bombays. They don't look like much, but they're secretly chunks. Yeah, I mean, he's not even secretly chunks. He's full-on chunker. He is. He's even got a bit of a gut on him right now because he's been eating so much. Jonesy, my friend, hello, good to see you. Let's go. 5 whole years. Look at that. What a legend. Thank you kindly, my friend. Tips to the tavern keeper are always appreciated. Good to see you, brother. How are you doing? My cat was abused, so I'm fine with her waking up at 4 to 6 a.m. It's good that you treat your cat well, but what I will say is that for animals that have been abused, the best thing that you can give them is structure. So letting your cat rule your life is not necessarily the best way to deal with an animal that has been abused. And I'm not criticizing you, I'm just saying, structure is the best thing you can give an animal that's been abused. It's the same thing with people. When people have gone through something, the best thing for them is structure. I'd love to snuggle animals while working. I keep asking coworkers to bring their dogs to the office. I totally let them hang out with me all day. It is an odd privilege of us working from the tavern that she gets to spend as much time as she wants with our child and her fur minions. That's alright, Matty. I figure I'd let everybody wander in since I was late and we were having technical issues, so. Michael, hello, my friend. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. You're doing well? Good. How's the family, Jonesy? How was the, I think the last time we spoke, you had a certification or a competition or something that you were working on? I remember that because you had done a competition some time ago. I'm not sure if the competition or the certification were the last things that we talked about, but you had something that was going on last time we spoke. How did that go? I'm filming a commercial tomorrow. Well, that's fun. I love working for Subaru. I get to see pets all day. It is a benefit of working for a all-terrain vehicle company. My two don't bother much at night. They will when they think it's time to get up for work at 3 a.m. That's very funny. I've only got one chapter to write in my book now. Good work, Matty. Keep moving forward. That's good news. Male Bengals weigh 9 to 15 pounds, but can reach up to 20 to 22 pounds. I would not be surprised if Milo gets to to that upper end. He is massive already. And again, he's not even a year old. And Bengals will typically grow for about a year and a half before they reach full size. They're doing well, yes. Since then, I've received 4 X-ray certifications and a destruction certification. Now I am also a teacher, teaching welding to the new apprentices. Absolutely spectacular, my friend. Good work. Raise a glass to that. We love a good achievement, don't we? Chapter 36 is going to be long, long as nuts. Long and nuts, okay. I'm looking forward to it. That's fun thing, Matty. Fun thing. Building a world and building out a world are absolutely beautiful things. They're very fun. And when you can really get into it, it's spectacular. And Barry, the legendary Smith, hello, hello. Still a little bit of water in my mouth. I choked on it. Oh, God. But isn't my old brother, how have you been? I have been spectacular, my friend. How have you been? Out there forging the legendary weapons of the gods, I presume. I have been well. The lady and I have both been well. We've been getting a lot of work done, and it's been a wonderful go of it. Yeah, thanks for hanging out for the crazy journey. A lot's changed in 5 years. I remember when you were going through your sort of uncertain era where you didn't know what was going to go on, and then you decided that you were gonna buckle down and you were gonna really go for the things that you wanted, and now here you are, perpetuating your success again and again, proving that it was earned and not given. Excellent orders aren't as frequent as well. They're not doing quite as much these days, as we all know. They're getting attacked by the big dog after the dog attack. You know, not as much need for it. I mentioned it to the ladies, but I finished The Wheel of Many. Fantastic book, highly recommend. I don't think I've even heard of it, but I'll give it a look. Yes, and you gave good wisdom and counsel during all of that, so thank you for all of that. I just pass along what's handed to me, my friend. It's up to you to take it. I can't claim any of it is mine. It's all timeless. I'm just passing it along. I'm glad that whatever we discussed, and I do remember some of it. I'm glad that those things helped you to foster in yourself strength, because you have to pick them up and take them. All I can do is say things. I'm just a talker. I'm a storyteller. It's up to you to pick it up and carry it. And you owe yourself all of the accolades for having taking wisdom that may or may not have related to you and let it inspire you to move forward. Oh, Bex hasn't been in for a while. Oh, Bex, yes. Bex is alive. I got a message from her. Well, I hope that she is doing well. I'm glad I have you guys as anchors. Matty, it's not nice. I know I'm trying to get in shape. You don't have to call me fat. It's not very nice. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you, Matty. That and your legendary send-offs were the pickups I needed when I could get them. Always a pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure. And Vari, thank you for the heart me, my friend. A pleasure from the legendary Smith. And Nate, thank you for the heart me, my friend, from the legendary Nate. I know, I thought that there was a dig at my size and weight, though, Matty, as if I'm dragging everybody down. I'm just kidding. That's not what I thought. I'm just messing with you, brother. Bullying, Matty, is a wonderful it should become a national pastime, if we're being honest. I appreciate it, Amvari. The tips to the tavern keeper always appreciated, my friend. I thank you very much. It brings me a whole lot of joy. He's such a good sport about it, it's hard not to have fun with it. How do you feel about that, Matty, that you've become Aaron's favorite hobby? I don't know if I've ever been someone's hobby before. It's I am a feather. All right, friends. I think it is time that we start. So I think I've given everybody sufficient time to get in. We're gonna run 3 minutes of ads over on Twitch, so our Twitch friends don't have to. They'll not get anything interrupted. I miss your old Norse stories. You're doing a reboot. As a matter of fact, and Vari, we are doing. So we're working on the Creatures of Yggdrasil book. Ashley, hello, love. Good to see you. We're working on the Creatures of Yggdrasil book, which is a tome that was dropped here in the tavern that covers all of the creatures. Some mad. Some mad naturalist went and found his way through the Creatures of Yggdrasil. But we're also going to reboot some of my family stories around Norse mythology, though when we put those out, we'll have a little bit more. Axolotl, Milu, hello, love. I can't blow the horn right now because I have a cat sleeping on me. I can't get to it. But I will. Thank you for the raid, love. I appreciate that. Hello. Milo is presently resting on me, and I can't grab the horn, but thank you kindly. Oh, we will most certainly be having the story of the legendary smith and dwarf, to be certain. Gunnar, hello my friend, welcome in, good to see you, hello. But we do intend to do a full, essentially, compendium of the Norse stories, and I'm going to put together it'll either be, I don't know how long it'll be, but it'll either be a one long story time about the chronology of Norse mythology as my family records it. So it's not necessarily what it would be canon in academics, but in my family stories what happened chronologically. Or it will be multiple videos chronicling the different aspect. Yeah, I think that'll probably be very likely, Anvari. Castle Husband, Coda is doing well. Coda is very itchy, and we're working on getting him to not be itchy. But Boo is much better. He's actually not as boogery as he has been. Will there be stories next Thursday? I figured not because of the holiday. Lovey, what do we have planned for next Thursday? I believe that's Thanksgiving. Are we going to be there all day? Let's say tentatively there will not be story time next week, but if there is, I will let you guys know on the day that we're gonna pop back in and have story time. I might even do it a day earlier so that you guys don't have to miss out on a week of story times, but we'll see what happens. Also, my move will officially be over on Sunday. Congratulations, my son. That's grand news. It is fair to take a hiatus on the holidays, but I like for you guys to have a place where you can come and spend the holidays. Because we believe in having collective holidays where you spend time with your loved ones, and it would be fair to say that the tavern are included in our loved ones. So whenever we can have a holiday with all of you, we're definitely going to try and do so. Thank you, Esther. I appreciate that. He'll be fine. Most of it is that he's just a nervous wreck. Alright, Anvari, I will see you in the stories, my friend. I appreciate you dropping in. Thank you for the heart me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. We will see you soon. Hilly says, I want to treat someone to dinner. Does anybody... No, you didn't miss anything, Val. You're good. We're just now starting, actually. We're running ads over on Twitch, and then we will Sage, hello, good to see you. The Sage has arrived. Yeah, you haven't missed anything. I was just waffling and we were talking about whether or not there'll be story time next week. That is so much appreciated, especially for those of us that don't have family close or family that we like. Yeah, and I do know that a lot of you guys are either far away from family. Kristen, hello, welcome in, good to see you. I know that some of you are far away from family. Thanking us for thanking you. The whole world's thanking us. I've got money, but realize I don't have someone to spend it on. That's always the terrible thing about when you start working or when you spend a long time in a career and you focus so much time on it, and then you realize you're like, oh, I've spent so much time on my career. I don't really have anybody to spend this money on. It's a sort of one of those odd things, but yeah, you could always spoil yourself, or you could go out with a friend, or see if you've got a friend's family that is willing to adopt you for the day. Aaron says, me, I'll take money, I need to fix my car. Well, you have insurance on your car, I presume. Hopefully the insurance would pay for it, it wasn't your fault. Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. I can't remember if I told you all, but I signed a book, Contact with Royal Guard Publishing. You did not. I remember you said that you had some news that was coming up in regards to that, but I don't recall you ever letting us know that that was the case. Congratulations! Another glass raised tonight to our good friend Sage, who's got himself a book contract with Royal Guard Publishing. Here's to many, 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 many years of success for the world you create. But hopefully, we will be able to do something at least the day before Thanksgiving. Because we're not going far for Thanksgiving. I think we're just going a few hours away from where we are now to visit some family. And then we will be... So I might shift story time by one day. Or if we have time available on the day, I'll do a short story time where we all say hello. And you know what? Maybe when we get home, we'll do a late movie with everyone. Enjoy your stream, my friend. I Kvoltuf. I butchered that. Kvoltuf. Ulf. Kvoltuf. Bid you farewell for the time being. Darkheart, it's good to see you, my friend, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Val, thank you for the roses, love. I appreciate you. Tips to the tavern keeper, always appreciated. I have always struggled with the KV sound in Scandinavian. It's always bumbled me. A friend of mine loved the video on Siobhan. I'm glad. It was not one I was expecting anyone to care about. It was one that I had put it together because I like Irish names and I like the history of I like etymologies. Etymologies I find fascinating. Castle, I realize we don't celebrate Thanksgiving here in Australia. It would be odd if you did, Esther. But I hope you're having a wonderful day nonetheless. Thank you, I appreciate it. What if we did a movie day for Thanksgiving? Well, obviously, again, this is for the Americans. Obviously, I don't expect everybody to celebrate American Thanksgiving. But if you are celebrating American Thanksgiving, should we do a movie day or should we try and do a story time? Because I think we can... we're doing a pre-cooked turkey, free birds. Yeah, I think we could probably do a movie. Maybe we do something that is like a transfer into the season. I don't know. Oh, Freebirds is a Thanksgiving animated movie. Oh, yes. Yeah, there are a bunch of Thanksgiving movies. The one that Erin mentioned is kind of funny. It's called Freebirds. It's about Thanksgiving birds. Movies that give us tavern time without the stress. Yeah, I think that if we get home early enough, maybe I'll sort out on, and we'll just pop in and have a conversation for a little bit uh, on the portals, and then we'll go to the guild and we'll perhaps have a movie night. Nightmare Before Christmas while singing carols, Uh, quite possibly. Yeah, so we'll play it by ear for now. For sure, we'll either have a movie night or a late movie night, depending on what time we get home, and then from there, if we're home early enough, I will hop on and do movies. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do Muppet Christmas Carol at some time next month, and we'll definitely do because we'll also be visiting family for some time next month. So there'll be a couple of days where we likely won't be able to get on for story time. So I plan to do movie days on the days that we are not going to be here. So on the days we're not going to be here, I'm going to bring movies along, and we'll do movie days from where we're going to be. I'll be here no matter what you decide. Well, thank you, Val. I appreciate that. I really enjoyed the other movie you recommended last time. It was great. Yeah, Howl's Moving Castle is spectacular, Esther. I no, you that's the one. That's the one, Milu. I'm usually well. Nobody's going to be alone for this holiday. I couldn't figure out how to see the movie when I tried. Could my VPN be blocking my viewing? It shouldn't be blocking through Discord or through Gilded. Um, but it maybe we'll have a little bit of a preamble at some point. Yeah, so we'll do the Grinch. We might do a Christmas Carol, the one with Jim Carrey, because I like that one, and we'll for sure do a Muppet Christmas Carol. I don't know. I don't know when we will, but we'll do those things. Live calls, please post plans, Castle. Happy Gobble Wobble. I'll post it in the broadcast channel, Kristen. So when we have plans for when we know where the plans are going to be, they'll be over in the broadcast channel for Facebook. And have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll see you soon. Oh, we'll do the Grinch too. I think we'll do the Grinch too. I freaking love Hallows. I worked at AMC and it was in the theaters. I watched it so many times after my shift. It's so good. I haven't watched the animated Grinch. I know a lot of people said they liked it. I like the live action one. And I like the original animated one, but I haven't seen the newer one, so I don't know if it's any good. I haven't watched Arthur Christmas, but I do like Klaus. Klaus is a spectacular movie. Oh, do I have emote only chat on over on Kick? I do. Shut that off. Although the emotes over on Kick are spectacular, I like them a lot. All right, let's read, friends. Let's get reading. Chapter 13. So, curiosity, does the Irish lore have something akin to the Wild Hunt that we have with the Germanic tribes? So, yes and no. So, there are semblances of the story of the Wild Hunt in Irish folklore, but it's not given a name. It's a part of the procession of life and death. Not life and death, it's a part of the procession of spring and summer. So, it's a part of the myth of Brigade, and Vera Callas. It's a part of that whole thing. And of course, you get remnants of it in. You get remnants of it in Celtic folklore in Scotland and in Ireland, but nothing specifically that is the exact same. Jazz, hello, lurking because I have to run out. That's all right. I will probably be home when you get back. I haven't seen A Boy Called Christmas either, but I have heard that was also good. We're also fans of the Rise of the Guardians as well. Rise of the Guardians is another very good Christmas movie. I like that one quite a bit. Also, it's official. My first demigod story that got voted in is Slavic. I only said Baba Yaga and got Destiny's vote. Yeah, Rise of the Guardians is very good. I like it. I like it very much. Stephanie, hello. Good to see you. Home Alone is another classic. Home Alone is a classic. This is another one we try to watch every year. We don't really do a whole lot of movies, but during Christmas time, we watch a lot of Christmas movies. And there hasn't really been... I also like The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. I know some people don't, but the first one is a legendary classic. A SpongeBob Christmas. I have never even seen a SpongeBob Christmas. I see. I am in the camp of Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I am in the camp of Die Hard being a Christmas movie. A lot of people say that it's just a movie that takes place at Christmas time, but it's got Christmas music and themes. It takes place during Christmas, and somebody gets a Christmas present at the end. That sounds like a Christmas movie to me. All hail Santa. I love the movie Rise of the Guardian. Yeah, Val, it's so good. It's such a good film. It's such a good film. Die Hard is... See, I'm glad we're all in accord with this. Die Hard is... Now, it's not a traditional Christmas movie, sure. It's a little bit on the out fringes there. But... Castle, you should cosplay as Santa on Christmas. If we... Okay, here's what I'll do. This is something you guys have no control over. So, because what people normally do for streams is like, oh, if we get a certain amount of money, I'll do this thing. I'm not going to do that because that is something you guys would just do, and I don't want to make it that easy. We are at, I think, 113,000 people are following us on Facebook, and we have, I think, 29,000 over on YouTube. If we hit 35 on YouTube, or we hit 150,000 on Facebook, before Christmas, I will dress up. I'll do full white beard and I will dress up as Santa Claus for Storytime on Christmas, and we'll read Christmas stories. Challenge accepted. Yeah, I do know, because the last time that we set any kind of deal like that, you guys did it in like 5 seconds. And I thought I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do this because they know I don't want them to give me money. So they're not going to actually do it, and then you guys did it anyways. It's a Wonderful Life and both Miracle on 34th Street. It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah, I agree, Esther. Those ones are wonderful classics. Michaels also says, "Done. It is a Christmas movie, Matty, and I will die on that hill." See, but Matty, it has all of the makings. Actually, also says, "Do oh my God, everyone tell your friends." Yeah, I swear, if there's some way that you guys pulled that off, I'm gonna be baffled, absolutely baffled. And you must send a video to Erin before too, just to mess with her. Gunnar says goes and makes a few thousand different Facebook accounts. See, but Die Hard does in fact have all of the hallmarks of a Christmas movie. Like, it starts out with a family fighting, right? Like John McClane and his family are not on good terms, and he's trying to get there in time to save it, and then... So, the Irish in general do not. The Irish braid their beards. So, I assume Val, I assume you're talking about traditionally. The Irish braid beards, and in the old days, we did a lot of ornamentation in our beards and hair, because the Celts of Ireland were very flamboyant in the way that we dressed and whatnot. Erin, hello Erin, good to see you. But nowadays, not so much. I have ornamentation for my beard that I wear for special occasions. And if you guys wanted, I'm sure the lady would love to just put a bunch of actual Christmas ornaments in my beard for one of the story times. I'm certain she would. Matty makes 1 million Facebook. Yeah, you get me banned if you do that, Matty. Then there'll be no more tavern on Facebook. We're fully immersed in the Christmas spirit. Friday and Saturday nights are perfect for cozying up with your favorite holiday movies. Elsie also loves indulging in a good film. It makes these nights even more special. I agree. Milu says, Una, can you dress up his beard, please? She says yes. That's cool. I think that's so cool. Yeah, because basically the way that what the Celts did back in the day is they would wear a lot of jewelry. Like there'd be like rings. Like my family, rings and necklaces and hair and beard ornaments and so on are very a big part of our familial culture as a way that we do those things. So yeah, if you guys get if by some miracle we reach 150,000 people on patrons of the tavern before Christmas, and keep in mind I don't really care about following. That's not a big deal. I don't care about it. It's just a goal you guys can reach, and then I'll do something silly, dress up like Santa Claus. Or if we reach 35 will probably be the easier one over on the YouTube portal. I'm following on multiple Google accounts. Don't get us banned. Just don't get us banned. I'll be on my 3rd year of forcing my mother to sit through old claymation. And they are good. I don't think we have the old ones on DVD, or else we'd do those for watching. So right now we're at 29 patrons over on YouTube. And I will do, if you guys get it to 35. Okay, we can do it, but you can make a quick video stating it to share. I mean, you guys could just clip what I just said and then share that video. That's the beauty of Twitch. Marie, hello, welcome in. We always do Rudolph and Frosty at the minimum. Rudolph is probably one of my favorite of the old, like, creepy claymation ones. Frosty's good too, but I really like the Rudolph one. The Rudolph one's very good. Yeah, so I don't call you guys followers or fans. You guys are all patrons of the tavern. Because yeah, like to call people fans is just such a weird thing for me. I'm not famous. I don't have fans. There are patrons of the tavern who come in to listen to stories. I try not to have any sort of ego about the fact that there are so many people who come into the store for stories. I think across everything we have about 200,000 people who come in. That's correct, Esther, that's correct. 1950s Christmas movies are spectacular. We're patrons of the tavern, but fans of the chair. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Six 6,000 more on YouTube, correct? So if we get to 35,000 on YouTube, or 150,000 on Facebook, which, just so you guys are aware, right now we're gaining, I think, about 10,000 a month on Facebook. So it's not crazy that it would get to that point on its own. And even if it's not your guys' doing and it just happens on its own, I will still honor the agreement, and I'll still put out the best stories that I can. And if we get to either of those, I will do full white beard. The lady will put ornaments in my beard, and I will dress up as Santa for one of the holiday story times. So you all the follow on Facebook, you know what to do. No, I don't know if we'll do glitter beard, but for sure a white beard. I don't want to get glitter everywhere. I hate glitter. But whatever the lady is willing to do is what will be done, I suppose. All right, guys. All right. We waffled on this enough. Let's do story time. Let's do story time. I've waffled quite a bit. Nobody can spam a verified Facebook. Yeah, which is part of the reason why I did it. We had a bunch of fake tavern accounts popping up and asking people for money. And you guys know I don't even like you guys spending money in the appropriate ways, like tipping and cheering and things like that. If there's not something that you guys are specifically getting out of it. So, we don't even advertise any of our merchandise. That's how much I don't want you guys to spend money that you don't want to spend. But there were people who were making tavern accounts and messaging people for money, and I was not okay with that. So we paid Meta to verify the Facebook account. so that people would be able to see that those other accounts are not us. So, it's funny you say that, Maddie. There's nothing on it, but we did do it as a joke a while back. I don't know if it's still up or not, but there was one we did as a joke. My Facebook account is it's just if you're making things and there are a lot of people who follow you, it's just the responsible thing to do. I will just pull out my tavern mafia skills. uh, which ones are we talking about, Gunnar? Which ones are we talking about? I said I screamed so loud my mom got scared. What about a Twitch goal? What? There's nothing really meaningful that you can do on Twitch that would be a goal. Because Twitch really only values like subscribers and cheering. Like that's the only thing Twitch cares about. And I don't want to set a goal for something like that because I don't want you guys. Although, I think we have discounted gift subs right now. Hang on a second. We do. We have discounted gift subs. Here, you guys don't have to use these for anything, but I'll throw them up anyways. But yeah, the only thing that Facebook or that Twitch cares about is subs and bits, and I'm not going to set goals for that because then you guys are going to feel pressure to spend money during the holidays, and I don't like that. So you're like the only Twitch sub that I pay for. I appreciate that, Jonesy. I was not aware the tavern has hoodies. Are there different ones? Yeah, we have Myth, Lore, and Tales of Yore hoodies. Gunnar? I'd rather set a goal for Facebook, not that I do for you, Castle. It's good. I just show my wildlife videos and photos. Yeah, well, and that's. Jonesy, I know I shouldn't have said that. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Tips to the tavern keeper appreciated, brother. Your generosity is deeply appreciated. I'm going to start reading, because the more we talk about this, the more you guys are going to come up with. And then this channel is the only one apart from my husband's that I care to put monies into anymore. I appreciate that. And I'm glad you guys value what we do, and that you guys share and comment and like and putting all of that. That's all right. That's all right, Esther. I got the gist of it. Thank you for the gift subs, brother. I appreciate you for that. Thank you kindly, mate. That's Jonesy's Christmas present to me and everybody else. Well, Twitch was really lagging on my end due to our internet. It's updating, so I'm back on my phone. I'm not sure if you saw my comment on Twitch. I did not see. What did you ask, Tyson? My mom has officially said you need Jesus to me. Sometimes I agree with your mom, Matty. I think that Jesus would probably benefit you. Some days. Hey, there's way more activity on Twitch than on YouTube. There is. Twitch is definitely the place where most everyone hangs out. But we have a few regulars who like the quiet corner of YouTube. That's why we keep it up. However, I feel like Kick might be more beneficial. Yeah, I know there's definitely some things going down over on on Twitch that I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be viable. I followed several people on this platform and removed them all except for you because this is the only place that helps my mental instead of hindering it. There's so much drama on the internet, mate. And you guys know I used to love doing dark jokes and bickering with people on the internet. I just don't do it anymore. It's such a drag. And there's so many people that do it. And most of the time it's not even funny. Like, when I did it, it was for fun. Like, it was meant to be funny. It was meant to be a joke. But so many people take themselves so seriously. And there's just so much drama. Like, I still love a good dark joke. Actually, for the first time in a long time, the lady and I are putting out a video that is a joke. It is a dark joke. But, yeah, there's just so much drama, and I'm so tired of it. I enjoy it back when I used to do this. It was one of my favorite things to do was give so. I appreciate you for that, brother. I appreciate you for that. It really means it does mean a lot. See, Matty, it's statements like "sexy Jesus" maybe that make me believe Jesus would probably benefit you in some way. Siobhan, hello! I do remember your unique spelling from the Siobhan video. I loved your version of my name, Siobhan. Yes, hello, it's good to see you. I'm glad you could drop in and say hello for Storytime. Not that we're doing much Storytime right now, we're waffling at the moment. I should be reading, but we're waffling. On my way home, I made a final payment on my truck. Hell yeah, Tyson, that's good news. Congratulations. Mushu, thank you for the follow. I did know you, Mushu, you came in over on YouTube, I believe, and I think you actually joined the guild as well. Welcome in. Thank you for marking the tavern on your map in 2 places. That's mostly because it's been a staple for most people. Yeah, I haven't been doing like TikTok and Twitch are the most common portals, the longest standing ones that we have. And I'm catching up with chat, guys. No problem. Too much drama. Yeah, I'm so worn out on the drama. Castle, I only follow you on Twitch and Facebook. Those are the only platforms where I stay connected, and that's fair enough, Esther. The only thing that you would be missing out on then would be the long story times, the video essays that I do on YouTube. Christmas movie I thought of: A Year Without a Santa Claus. I don't think I remember that one. Lovey, do you know A Year Without a Santa Claus? I don't think I've seen it. I was making a few jokes about wire hangers today. Uh-oh. I have someone on Facebook trying to boycott my book without knowing anything about it. You'll get that, Maddie. Let me give some advice to anybody in here who is an aspiring author or who is a young author. Do not read any negative comments about your work, and especially do not respond to them. One of the worst things that you can do as an author is read and respond to negative comments about your work. Just don't do it. Oh, you guys got a hype chest. I didn't even realize we hit a level 2 high. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Jonesy, thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. You guys get this little frog, whatever that is. I don't know what it is. Jessica Waffles. Yeah, I know. I'm just awful on the waffles right now. If the tavern was a physical place, once I walked in, I may never leave. I feel like that's the case for a lot of tavern regulars. I know you're messing around, but still, Matt. Do we need to find Mulan? No, I think Mushu's good to hang out by themselves. The waffles are like we're practically a waffle house, but without the fighting. With how much I waffle. Love a good waffle. Yeah, because that's how I found you 5 years ago, was the OG TikTok when I commented on one of your first TikTok videos. That's true, George. You've been around, you and Captain Hoodie and a few others have been around for the OG, that's for sure. And yeah, I used to do all kinds of dark jokes, and I used to start beef with people because I like a good I like a good row. I love a good discussion that gets heated. I love it. But people today, they cannot manage. They can't manage it. People get so emotionally distraught over a conversation, and they freak out. Jessica says Waffle Tavern shirts next. And without the uncomfortable seating, yes, that's true. Yep, I would never leave. I can work in the kitchen, says Val. Oh. Esther says, love a good waffle. Yeah, Twitch is a bit chaotic. Yes, it is, Michael. Yes, it is. I'm only on TikTok for my wildlife. I miss the days when you got a little bit more. Yeah, I've tried to never be mean or cruel-spirited. There have been times when I accidentally said something that was a little bit over the line, and I never apologize, but I'm like, look, yeah, I will acknowledge I went too far. I'm never one to apologize because I meant it in the moment, and apologizing would be disingenuous. But I always focused on like dark humor and ironic humor when I was doing that. And again, like it always degraded into drama, and I can't stand the drama. The drama is too much. Like if we can sit and make fun of each other, I'm fine with that. Like that's the kind of thing that I grew up with. I believe that we should be able to just chat shit at each other and not hate each other afterwards. But the internet as it stands today absolutely just can't handle it. So we tell stories instead because I just don't like bickering with strangers online. If we wanna have a conversation about something or we wanna share in the wonder of the world, that's good. But I'm not gonna bicker with strangers online who don't want to have their mind changed. It's the biggest thing. I never understood why my name meant Joan when I heard that earlier in life until I watched the video. Hey, well there you go. I'm glad that you got to learn a little bit more about yourself from the tavern. That's wonderful, Siobhan. Isn't the year without a Santa Claus the one with the heat miser? I have no idea. Don't know. Maybe that sounds about right. Is that true, Lovey? A year without a Santa Claus, the one with the heat miser? I don't either. My last comment ever I put on Facebook was somebody trying to insult me over an opinion on Has Been Hotel. I replied, "Do you want me to pretend I'm insulting?" Yeah, it's just a thing. Four Little Goblins, I am so glad you popped up on my live because I have been hunting for your channel for a month. Four Little Goblins, hello. Well, I'm glad that you found us. Welcome in. Make sure you mark us on your map so that you find your way back again. Castle, I really can't tolerate drama or trolling comments. You see, I'm happy that most of the ones we get now are just people who don't like my voice. Like, we had the Tolkien video that I just put out, the Tolkien Storytime, and the Siobhan video. I had probably about 5 or 6 people who came in just to say that they hated how I talk. And I'm like, sorry. Not sorry, I apologize for nothing. That's just the sound that my throat hole makes when my mouth hole opens and I push air through it. I have enough chaos in my life. Yeah, precisely, Michael, precisely. Milu's got all the waffles going. Mushu is one of my gaming handles. Oh, is it really? Wait, Michael, so does that mean that you are Mushu over on Twitch? So is Mushu Michael? Hello, coming in from Red Note. Well, welcome in. Are you the? I presume that you are the individual who I was speaking to, who was going to drop by for story time. Something about a flower. Your name was in Mandarin, so I couldn't read it. I had to translate it. But something about a flower, I believe, or sunshine, or spring. Any which way, you're a bright individual. Welcome. We're glad that you could join us. I tend to try to avoid negative comments about stuff I like, period, to stuff that, like, trolls destroyed my enjoyment of Star Wars. Yeah, you really have to just not pay attention to people who are negative online, especially if you're going to do this kind of thing for work, because it's far easier for people to be negative than it is for them to be positive. Uh-oh, Castle, we're collecting votes for waffle shirts. Just hit him with the "I was born this epic" thanks. Well, in this one, people get mad about my accent. Because my accent is weird, acknowledged. Fully acknowledged my accent is strange. I grew up in Southern Ireland between Limerick and Wicklow, and then I spent 2 years in Belfast, and then I grew up around a bunch of Scandies. So my accent is weird. My whole family's accents are weird. And so when people come in, they're like, "Oh, well, you don't sound very Irish." I'm like, "Well, because I'm not very Irish." And I get people who want to fight with me about it. They're like, "Oh, well, you're not from Ireland." I'm like, "Oh, random stranger on the internet. I'm suddenly not from where I'm from because a stranger said so." And I don't ever hide this from people, so I don't know why people always want to like bring it up. I grew up in the United States. I grew up in Ireland. I was born in the United States. I went to live with my grandfather at 6 months old. I lived in Ireland till I was 14, and I've lived in the United States for a little over 20 years now. I don't hide that. But people want to make it out like it's this huge fucking... But you never met anybody who moves? It's just... Like, the things that people want to fight about are it's so strange. I don't understand some people. It's so weird. What people want to bicker about. Just hit up with the "I was born this epic." I think we can influence them to do it. The weird makes it so iconic, though. Well, thank you, goblins. I appreciate that. It's not weird. It's absolutely lovely. People are weird. I acknowledge that it's strange because I don't sound like most Irish folk, right? I've lived in 15 different states, right? Like, I've lived in 13 different countries. I lived in 13 different countries before I was 14 years old. Traveling around my grandfather. I lived in 7 different counties, off and on, 9 different counties in Ireland, off and on, while I lived there. And my family are all from America. I do miss the old Gremlin vids. Hopefully, I hear Harold running around upstairs, so maybe there'll be more of that. Castle, I really can't tolerate drama or trolling. I agree, Esther. I agree completely. I despise drama. The internet is mostly discussing. Well, it's because people are mostly very angry and spiteful, Matt. You have to understand that about people. You'll find me passed out on the bar when you come in and open in the morning, crack an egg in the brew, and I'll be all right. I'm all here for it. I'm all here for it. It's pretty crazy that wielding is basically controlling the power of the sun at a very fine point. That is insane. You're like a magician of sorts, Jonesy. You're like a wizard. Oh, that's a great one too. Matty says hello, Una. I'm so far behind, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up. Everybody, stop commenting for a second so I can catch up. I am Mr. White Christmas. I'm Mr. Snow. A heat miser and ice miser. Okay, so there we go. Tyson, I don't know if I caught the comment that you wanted me to catch. Ashley, you said I love your voice. Well, thank you kindly. I'm fond of it myself. Funny thing I've had happen here on while I was streaming was a guy trying to criticize my uses of the word like in dialogue. Like it's dialogue. Well, and if you're from the Midwest or from Southern Ireland or from Southern California, people just use all tons of the word like. I used slanches tancha at a hand fasting I officiated in the Unity show. That's wonderful, Siobhan. That's absolutely spectacular. Health and wealth, for those of you who don't know. For those of you who are keeping up with tavern stories. Yes, also on the DC... okay. Excellent. I'm so far behind on comments. Yep, that's me. Spectacular. All right. I'm catching up now. All of the above, flowers bloom in late spring. Oh, wonderful. It's a lot to remember in English, no worries. Do you have a preferred name then? Because your name for me is also a strange at. It says m.d.uiu experience. So if you have a preferred name, let me know and I'll try to remember. Val, thank you for the you're awesome. Hi, make the eggs and coffee all ready before you walk in. It's true. Matthew gets 2 reactions with his accent. 1, overwhelmingly charming, flirtatious. 2, you're not from here, huh? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Castle, Elsie and I absolutely adore you. Well, thank you kindly, Esther. I appreciate that. Berating or talking down to people about things they can't change in the next 5 minutes is petty and fruit. I completely agree. The internet is a blessing and a curse. One hand gives us access to literally all the knowledge ever gathered on the planet. The other hand gives anonymity, which turns people into crazy. Yeah, and that's the thing, is you have to remember that in their heart, people are usually angry and bitter. And so when you remember that, and you realize that most of the time when people are picking up on something negative, because it's not necessarily not true, right? Like, sometimes people will say something about you and there's truth in it. But when people say something that's negative about you that's truth in it, it's because they're acknowledging that they hate that about themselves, usually. And it's not because they're trying to be constructive, it's not because they're genuinely trying to... Because, like, if somebody came into one of my videos and like, hey, you're a bit chunky, mate, you need to go work out. I agree, I'm a bit overweight, I need to go work out, that's fine. But if people come in and they're like, hey, your face is stupid and I hate your voice, there's nothing I can do about that. That's all on you, my friends. That sounds like a you problem. This is what I look like. You have a mother and I'm offended. Yeah, that's basically people on the internet. Because I think the internet is a superpower. I love the internet. I think it's beautiful. We have people in here who are from South Africa and Australia and New Zealand, all across the US and Canada and Mexico, and we have people who come in from Cuba and Colombia. like, we have people from all over the world who come into the tavern, and we all enjoy stories and conversation and drink together, and that's beautiful. Bear dropping it. I wasn't even expecting you in tonight, mate. Thank you for the bits, brother. I appreciate you for that. Tips to the tavern keeper, always appreciated, my friend. I hope that your cricket game is going well. Or people think Matthew's Australian. South Africans get that a lot. South Africans, especially from Americans, South Africans will get that a lot. We talked about this the other day in Gilded. It's easier to be angry than to accept cognitive dissonance or be wrong. Yeah, it's very true, Valkyrie. It's very true. It's a lot easier to just assume everybody else is wrong than to self-analyze. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. And like, obviously, nobody wants to be wrong, but it's good for you to be able to self-analyze and go, well, maybe I'm incorrect. Like, I had somebody who got very, very uppity with me on Facebook because I'm blind. That's why I wear these, and sometimes I will edit without these on because my eyes get tired. So sometimes I will edit with these off if it's not super important and I know what I'm doing. And when I'm editing my subtitles, sometimes I'll have my glasses off. And I am very, very blind. I don't want any, like, my eyes are severely damaged. I'm very blind. So, one of my subtitles in my last video, it had Gaelga spelt with the L and the I reversed. And the reason why that is because the I and the L look exactly the same to me when my glasses are off. So, rather than Gaeilge, it was Lige. And somebody got very uppity about it with me in the comments, and I was like, look, you're going to have to forgive my caption editing. I am very blind. I'm still so far behind on the chat, guys. I'm sorry. Beer is good. People are crazy. That's a great song. That's a great song, Sage. Maybe they need more poaching. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. That's a recommendation for a movie. I'm so far. Justin was busy. That's all right, Bethany. I've literally been waffling this whole time. I understand I have traces of 3 distinct southern accents in my everyday voice. Southwestern Virginia, East Tennessee, and Eastern Kentucky. It's hard to place. And that's the thing, like, it's called phonetic adaptation. When you're exposed to people who have a bunch of different accents, you will pick up different variations of those accents. That's what happens. And I've been around people from all over Ireland and from Scandinavia, and around Americans. You know, I've spent almost 20 years in California, so it's just one of those things. It is what it is. Jody says, my wife thinks you're awesome and loves your accent. She's also been around for as long as I... That's true. That's true. Wait, am I wrong in remembering that you guys... There was a major... I think you guys had a baby. Not in the tavern, but with the tavern. Am I remembering that right, Jones? You had a major life thing that you shared with us in the tavern. I think it was a child, if I remember correctly. I feel so bad that I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember that. Did you bring a shrubbery? Precisely. You always have to bring a shrubbery. Hey guys, it's a quick good day for me, and the English have 3 out of a mere 40-ish runs. Pretty happy day about that. That is solid, Bear. That is solid. Thank you for the bits, brother. I appreciate you. I hope that you guys are enjoying the game right now. Mel, if you remember, I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible with names too. I will remember the things that we all talk about, but I am terrible with names. What a weird thing to get upset about. Look, she was Irish, and the Irish love to nitpick about everything. So do the Scottish. Most Western Europeans love to nitpick about things. It's because they don't have, like, there's not a whole lot else going on. And so, especially if they think you're American, and they do think that I am American, and I am American. I'm very proud to be an American. Especially if they think you're an American, they love to correct you about everything, though. Mel, I will try to remember that. I will try to remember that in our future interactions. Mel. My favorite thing about, I've read on the internet, North Korea has banned self-doom under the sentence of the state. I saw that too, Matty. That's very funny. Jonesy's out in Illinois. I am convinced from... I'm from the moon at this point. It very well could be. Siobhan, so are you in Ireland or are you in the US currently? I live in the US currently. I grew up in Ireland. I haven't been back in many years. From my observations, generally people who have some form of confirmation bias and want their beliefs challenged. Well, and Michael, that's pretty much everybody. Now, it's to varying degrees. There are some people who are, to the umpteenth degree, just very, very, very not willing to be criticized about anything. Since he's been here in the States for 23 years, Matthew sounds more American now than South African. Yeah, and I worked very hard. See, I'm more conscious of my accent than most people are, because I got teased for mine relentlessly because I came here young. I was 15 years old when I was living full-time in the US, and I was mostly on my own. My parents had just split up when I moved back, and I was very much on my own. I was homeless for a few years, so I was very self-conscious and very self-guarded when I came back to the US. And so I'm very conscious of how I sound, and if I need to, I can switch to sounding very, very American very quickly, and it's sort of like a defense mechanism, I guess. Did someone say Aussie? I'm confused. Possibly. The world is at your feet, Castle. Hopefully not at my feet. I'm very clumsy. Can't imagine going without my glasses. I feel like I'm running into walls without them. See, like, I can see details well enough. Like, I can see things well enough. But I cannot read at all. Like, I can't see any of the letters in front of me when I have these off. We didn't know that I was blind until I went and checked to see if I was blind. Because I functioned fairly well enough. I just get really bad headaches trying to read. Because anything that needs, like, deep focus, I cannot see. I can see well enough everything else, but if I have to read or do anything like that, I cannot see. Very, very blind. One of the most important lessons I hears as a young lad, I walked into work all in a gruff and told my boss, who is very, why is everyone being an asshole today? He calmly looked at me and asked, everyone? And I said, yeah, everyone. And he just said, it's not you, it's you, not them. If everyone you run into is being an asshole, you're the problem. And it made me look at myself and understand I was in fact being a jerk. That's a good point, Gunnar. And you have to look at the common denominators in things. Because if everyone else is being a jerk, chances are it's you who is the problem. Because people are more often than not are going to match your energy. And if everyone is being mean to you or everyone is talking down to you, chances are you are the variable there that is prompting that interaction. Now that doesn't mean that lets other people off for being rude, but if everyone you meet is mean to you, the chances of that being the case just unilaterally is not likely in a polite society. So this was Rant Night in disguise. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Frost. I'm sorry. So, because I used to talk with Becca a lot, that's why I got a minor southern accent. Very likely, Matty. Very likely. We did, my brother. You are correct. I did share a photo of her when she was very... That's... Okay, good. I wanted to make sure I was remembering properly. Let's just let him keep going. No, I do need to get to reading. Random side note, I realized yesterday that my new book has a lot of Gaeilge in it that isn't translated, and now I feel I need to learn it. That's a good opportunity to do so. I did share a photo. Okay, I read that. Not trying to stop it, just find it funny. I only ever had one person guess my accent correctly. I grew up in Germany, but then came to the US and worked around Southern Cowboys. Even heard a German speak English. Ever heard a German speak English with a Southern accent? It's funny you say that, Michael. We actually did a thing a while back where everybody was having me do accents and then speak sentences in different accents. It was hilarious and terrible. I finally got all the Axolotl clips uploaded to the red play button. Wonderful, Milo. Castle, what did you say in stream on my birthday last year? I'm teasing. Yeah, it's a French. It's like that in French culture. Native French are ecstatically argumentative. The French are very argumentative. Yes, the French and the English love to argue. Italians love to argue one-sidedly, and the Spanish won't argue with you about anything. The Spanish will just look at you disdainfully if you try to argue. Thou shalt count to 3. Thou hast counted to 4. You have counted too far. This is why I'm glad I'm open-minded. Blue, no red. How do you... Okay, I just... The whole thing reset and I'm lost. Hang on a second. What did... No. How do you say 3 in general? Are you talking about in Guelga, Siobhan? I think it's A3. I haven't counted in Guelga in years, but I think it's A3. Or A3. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows. An African or European swell. Are you guys just talking about Monty Python now? Now I have to watch it again. I love the Irish accent when they say 3. The word 3. Yeah. A3. And that's the reason why we say it that way is because in Irish there's no H. Like H's just don't exist in Gaeilge. Well, over an hour of waffles, absolutely love it, keeping me wide awake. I'm Southern born, native South Carolinian, but no one can tell. They guess New York, Boston, Jersey, England, Ireland, New Orleans, Baton Rouge. Hell, I had someone ask me if I was from Iran twice. That's a hell of a thing. But his accent comes through all the time, especially if he's talking with his family or friends in Africa. Yeah. When I'm with people who I'm very comfortable with, or if I'm speaking to old friends, typically I'll lapse into a thicker accent. My French accent is hilarious, and it is hilariously bad. It is very bad. Mom's watching Family Feud. The question is, what does your mother-in-law remind you of? The top answer included Darth Vader. That's very funny, Matty. I was thinking the same. One of my top 5 favorites. Curveball. I'm barf, half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend. So I'll say this in the best way I can. I have now started helping college-age guys, teaching them, usually around 30 or 40 guys, not to make this religious, but it's under that context. What did I miss? Okay, I didn't miss anything. Alright, well, I guess I just missed the context there. Crystal, hello, welcome in. Reading through... it's you, were you guys quoting movie? Alright. I understand. I'm Scottish and French and I dislike arguments. Can't stand anyone complaining or arguing. I feel... See, I like a good roll, like I like a good back and forth. But if people are just going to get upset and angry, I don't like people being overly emotional about things that don't really matter. Like, if you're in an argument with somebody, and especially if it's a stranger, that argument should hold no bearing on how you feel. In my perspective. I understand if some of you want to put more weight in the things that others think about you. I think that's silly, but if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Oh, alright. Excellent, Josie. Excellent. Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I was so far behind there for a minute. Remember you read the story Destiny wrote in a southern accent? Yes, I do remember that, Maddie. That was hilarious. Okay, alright. I think that we're caught up now. I think I'm caught up everywhere. Is a hot dog a sandwich or a taco? A hot dog is a sandwich. And I will give you the fundamentals of why. I just didn't want to make it a religious conversation. No, it's alright. That's alright, Jonesy. I understand. Dumplings are Japanese Pop-Tarts, as a matter of fact. And because raviolis are just Pop-Tarts. But a hot dog... A burger is a sandwich, Matty. A burger is a sandwich. The only difference is that it's hot. A hot dog is a sandwich and a burger is a sandwich. And the reason why a hot dog is a sandwich is because if a hot dog is not a sandwich, then a sub-sandwich is not a sandwich. So that means that an entire subgenre of sandwiches then stop being sandwiches if a hot dog is not a sandwich. So a hot dog is in fact a sandwich. A hot dog is a taco. No, a taco is a taco is a burrito. Or a quesadilla. A taco is actually more akin to a quesadilla, actually, if we're being honest. But dumplings are Japanese ravioli, but ravioli are just Pop-Tarts. Okay, we're all caught up. Before I get drawn into another one of these rambling conversations, well, I'm having an omelet sandwich. There you go. Ravioli is a Pop-Tart. Anything that is contained inside of dough is a Pop-Tart. Then there's a pineapple pizza. A pizza or just abomination? A pineapple pizza is a pizza, but it's for people whose parents are disappointed in them. That's really all it is. You had me in the first half, but now I'm confused. Any dough with a filling inside of it is a Pop-Tart. Have a great night, everyone. Got to get up for work. All right, Val, good night. I'm sorry we didn't get to any reading before you had to leave, but... A quesadilla is bread filling bread. And see, I agree, Mel. So therefore, a quesadilla is also just a sandwich. Or are Pop-Tarts pierogies? It's funner if we just say they're all Pop-Tarts, I think. So if stuffed crust pizza is a Pop-Tart. A stuffed crust pizza is a pizza with a Pop-Tart on the end of it. I need to tell my mom she's disappointment to my grandma now. I guess if you have like because some quesadillas are two tortillas on top of each other, that's a sandwich. But then if you fold it, actually technically still a sandwich. No, they're all sandwiches. Yep, Mel has closed the case. They're all sandwiches. Val, thank you for the You're Awesome. I appreciate you for that. Tips to the Tavern Keeper, always appreciated, love. Thank you so much. The sea is in fact a soup. No, there's no need to, it's a cold soup, but it's a soup. It was hot at one time, but now it's a soup. It's just cold soup. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Frost. A taco just has toasted bread. It's still a sandwich. Still a sandwich. I still haven't found out if Nessie is kosher or not. Probably not. Probably not. I think it's safe to say not. And also, hi, Impala. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. So basically, everything we eat is either a sandwich or a Pop-Tart. Correct, Gunnar. That is the correct assumption. Mel says, now I want pierogies. Okay, I'm gonna read. We've gone insane over here. A burrito is... okay, let's see. A burrito is a wrap. So yeah, I think that so everything is either a sandwich, a burrito, or a Pop-Tart. I think that those can be our three categories. Because egg rolls are definitely more of a wrap than they are a sandwich or a Pop-Tart. Side quest, the stoner question, how did the man who invented time know what time it was? It's a very good question, we'll never know. A burrito is a wrap. Yeah, see, a burrito is a wrap. So we have wraps, we have sandwiches, and we have Pop-Tarts. That's everything. Noodles are soup. And like anything that has noodles in it, that's soup. An ice cream sandwich is in fact an actual sandwich. And a Oreo cookie sandwich is a sandwich. See, a burrito is enclosed, but it's not sealed closed. That's the difference. Oh, is it already time for ads again? I'm so sorry, you guys. This is ridiculous. I apologize. This is ridiculous. How did we get here? I am so sorry. A burrito is wrapped in bread, that's true. So yeah, I guess burritos and wraps, they're just a subset of sandwiches then. So we can be generous and say that wraps are a subset of sandwiches. So you've got wraps, sandwiches, and Pop-Tarts. Just so that we're fair. Because I've been here 5 years, that's how we got here. Are pasta Italian or Chinese, and why did the Italians steal the credit? That's a good question, Matty. I don't know. I actually don't know that one. Has it been waffles the whole time? It has been. It has been. I think curry can be a soup, but I think that curry rides the line. Curry can either be a soup or a dip. Why are we having this conversation? I need to story. I'm gonna read. All right, I'm gonna read, and then we're gonna get through a chapter because I still have to record and put out a bit because I had technical difficulties earlier, and none of the stories I shot for today are any good because they have no sound on them. So I have to go and do that again. Soups and noodles are not tied together. Lo mein would have to. Lo mein is a salad. That's true. If you're talking about noodles that is in like a lo mein or a chow mein, that's a salad. That's 100% a salad. Thank you, Mel, for adding another category. We also have salads. You either have a soup or a salad or a dip. And to be fair, dips are just really thick soup. I'm a squirrel. Sorry, no, it's all right. It's all right. You're in good company, Mel. You're in good company. Yeah, sandwich waffling. Yes, Esther. I just jumped in here and stirred the pot. I don't know how you got here at all. To be perfectly honest, if I told you where we started, it wouldn't make any sense. Valkyrie says because food is life. Midwesterners have a lot of Midwesterners pretty much exclusively eat salads. Mac and cheese is a salad. Mac and cheese is a salad. That's true, it's bread. That's true, it's bread. So if Ross is right, mac and cheese is an open-faced sandwich. What are we doing? What are we doing, guys? All right, I'm gonna run ads on Twitch real quick, and then we'll I'm gonna read as soon as the ads are done. I promise. As soon as the ads are done on Twitch, I'm gonna read. We'll do this for 3 more minutes, and then it's. Oh gosh. Redefining food groups, right? We're doing God's work. We're doing important human work that needs to be done. I think the reading is off the rails for the night. Yeah, hang on. Let me see how many pages there are. We might not even get through this chapter before I have to go and do other things, guys. Damn it. Let's see, 163. Yeah, we should be fine. We should be fine. It's only 14 pages. I should be able to do this in less than an hour. Yeah, we go 14 pages. I should be able to get through that. Neftafel Gaming. Hello, is that Duncan, or is it somebody else? Curry is a soup. Curry is in fact a soup. Following the White Rabbit. If mac and cheese is a salad, so is curry. No, see, Feroz corrected me. Mac and cheese is an open-faced sandwich. Casserole is salad. Casserole is a salad. That's true. Oh my! Now I feel like a sandwich. Damn, you needed that grenade after all. Soup is witchcraft. It can be. It depends on because soup can be secular, soup can be witchcraft, or soup can be Christian. It can go any way. It can go any which way. Just depends on who's brewing it. First world problem, simplifying food groups. Yeah, something like that. If curry is thick enough, is it still a soup? See, that's what we were getting at. See, because there are dips, and if it's really thick, then it's a dip. But maybe dips are just really thick soups. Maybe we don't need to. It is Doug. Hey, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Roughly 3 minutes per page. I think so. I think I can get through the full chapter in less than an hour. I think we can do that. It depends, a German or an American casserole. In Germany, we make casseroles that is like enchilada. That's true. I would say that that's still maybe it's a salad that is made of sandwiches. Enchiladas is a hot drink. That's true. That's true. But there is bread though, Crystalla, because the noodles are made of bread. Because the noodles are bread. The pasta is bread. Soup is made from meat, herbs, and water. That's a potion. Potions are witchcraft. But the original potions actually didn't come from witchcraft. They came from Hebrew, from Jewish practices. So that would make them inherently Abrahamic, and it was later adapted in Wicca and such. All right, excellent, Frost. Thank you. Is a donut a sandwich? A donut is just bread, unless it's got something inside of it. Then it's a sandwich. Chili and curry that holds the equivalent of peak can't be soup. Well, I think that soup has two areas. You have soup and stew. And I personally prefer stews, but you have soup and stew. Actually, it is witchcraft. There's this lady that makes videos about this. Her argument is that the spices used are the charms. I could see that, but again, that practice came from Hebrew mysticism. So, by that logic, ramen is a sandwich too. But the ramen is in a broth, not in cheese. All right, I'm not going to keep talking about this. I'm going to read. This conversation is so stupid. Orders jelly-filled donuts. That's a sandwich. Actually, ramen is a salad. All right, stop. We got to stop. Stop it. Stop it. God damn it, you guys. Diogenes would have a field day with it. Yeah, no kidding. This is the exact kind of thing Diogenes would charge into Plato's classroom, holding up a plucked chicken and calling it a man. Yeah, you guys. I'm gonna read. Wait, so loaded potatoes, open face? Yes, in fact, yes. That's the last thing I'm gonna say on this. An open-faced potato is no. Wait, there's no bread. There's no bread. It's a salad. And a loaded baked potato is a salad. I just helped all of you on your diets. You can have loaded baked potatoes. They're salads. There is not. If it's anyone, it's you, Matty. Yeah, I'm gonna read because we're getting. This was fun. Here's story time, everyone on the carpet. Yeah, let's get into the stories. Well, I'm gonna have a really large salad today. There you go, Gunnar. There you go. Everybody in the chat chose to be feisty today. Yeah, we just decided that we just all woke up and chose violence. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks for a good laugh after a long steady session. Worth it. You got some of the most ridiculous things ever. All right, let's. We're starting out a chapter with Umbridge, so this is going from that to this. I think we all need a little lightheartedness. Pineapple belongs on pizza. Everybody give Milu a hug. Milu needs a hug. Happy now VIP. Happy, thank you for the heart, me. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. After my day, I needed that. It's made my day. Yet another reason I love to come to the tavern. You guys are nuts, all of you. Are we nearing a full moon? Because that makes us all a little crazy. It very well could be. Milu loves pineapple on pizza because she needed more hugs as a child. So everybody just send virtual hugs to Milu and tell her it's okay that she likes pineapple on pizza. It's not, but we can tell her that. We just passed a new moon. See, there you go, Frost. Thank you for keeping track. I appreciate and love your reading. Well, thank you, Happy. I'm glad you enjoy. To be fair, the pineapple they put on pizza is usually canned, and that ruins the texture. That is also fair. Based on this conversation, ketchup in macaroni and cheese is not an abomination. Who knows what things we all opened up with this conversation, Bethany? You're probably right. It's that geomagnetic storm. It very well could be. Very well could be. If pizza was a dessert, then it would make sense. But I'm gonna read it. We can't get into more of these conversations. All right. Chapter 13 of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Muggle-born Registration Commission.
Ah, I found her,
said Umbridge, looking at Hermione. So this is a catch-up. For everyone, we are on chapter 13. Harry, Ron, and Hermione just recently, uh, while being hunted by Death Eaters, broke in to the Ministry of Magic after having imitated employees of the Ministry of Magic using Polyjuice Potion. I did. I opened up Pandora's box and just everything went crazy. We catching up like mustard. Thank you for that, Gunnar. Thank you for that. The knee deserved to be slapped. Properly done. Properly done. And as they went upstairs at the end of the last chapter, they came out of the elevator to be faced directly with Umbridge, who is who they are looking for, but they did not expect to find her where they found her.
Ah, Mafalda.
Said Umbridge, looking at Hermione.
Travers sent you, did he?
Yes, squeaked Hermione.
Good. You'll do perfectly well.
Umbridge spoke to the wizard in black and gold.
That's that problem solved, Minister. If Mafalda can be spared for record keeping, we shall be able to start straight away.
She consulted her clipboard.
10 people today, and one of them the wife of the ministry employee. That, even here, in the heart of the ministry.
She stepped into the lift beside Hermione, as did the two wizards, who had been listening to Umbridge's conversation with the minister.
We'll go straight down, Mafalda. You'll find everything you need in the courtroom. Goodbye, Albert. Aren't you getting out?
Yes, of course, said Harry in Runcorn's deep voice. Harry stepped out of the lift, the golden grills clanged shut behind him. Glancing over his shoulder, Harry saw Hermione's anxious face sinking back out of sight, a tall wizard on either side of her, Umbridge's velvet hair bow level with her shoulder. What brings you up here, Runcorn? Asked the new Minister of Magic. His long black hair and beard were streaked with silver, and a great overhanging forehead shadowed his glinting eyes. Harry put in mind of a crab looking out from beneath a rock. Needed a quick word with... Harry hesitated for a fraction of a second. Arthur Weasley. Someone said he was up on level 1. Ah, said Pious Thickness. Has he been caught having contact with an undesirable? No, said Harry, his throat dry. No, nothing like that. Ah, well, only a matter of time, said Thickness. If you ask me, the blood traitors are as bad as the mudbloods. Good day, Runcorn. Good day, Minister. Harry watched Thickness march away along the thickly carpeted corridor. The moment the minister had passed out of sight, Harry tugged the invisibility cloak from under his heavy back cloak, threw it over himself, and set off along the corridor, in the opposite direction. Runcorn was so tall that Harry was forced to stoop to make sure his big feet were hidden. Panic pulsed in the pit of his stomach as he passed the gleaming... Wait, hold on. What if there is a story about the tavern? Story about the ongoings, and we're all characters in said book, and every chapter is about a character and their adventure, but either ends or starts regrouping back at the tavern. It's a very interesting... Wait, Gunnar, are you not aware of what we have going on with the Tavern Tales? I love this tavern. Hello, Michael, and MD. I have not, and you are fully in line to draw, and Cortamir apologize deeply. Hey, Chris? Okay, I didn't miss it here. Yeah, the writing competition for finding new tales to add to the tavern that we're all writing together. I'm engaging to interact with integrity, gratitude. I celebrate us all, fellow live creator and host. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Where was I? Panic pulsed in the pit of his stomach as he passed gleaming wooden door after gleaming wooden door, each bearing a small plaque with the owner's name and occupation on it. The might of the ministry, its complexity, its impenetrability, seemed to force itself upon him, so that the plan he had been carefully concocting with Ron and Hermione over the past 4 weeks seemed laughably childish. They had concentrated all their efforts on getting inside without being detected. They had not given a moment's thought to what they would do if they were forced to separate. Now Hermione was stuck in court proceedings, which would undoubtedly last hours. Ron was struggling to do magic that Harry was sure was beyond him. A woman's liberty possibly depending on the outcome, and he, Harry, was wandering around on the top floor when he knew perfectly well his quarry had just gone down in the lift. He stopped walking, leaned against a wall, and tried to decide what to do. The silence pressed upon him. There was no bustling or talk or swift footsteps here. The purple carpet corridors were hushed as if the muffalato charm had been cast over the place.
Her office must be up here,
Harry thought. It seemed most unlikely that Umbridge would keep her jewelry in her office, but on the other hand, it seemed foolish not to search it to make sure, and therefore he set off along the corridor again, passing nobody but a frowning wizard who was murmuring instructions to a quill that floated in front of him, scribbling on a trail of parchment. Now, paying attention to the names on the doors, Harry turned a corner. Halfway along the next corridor, he emerged into a wide open space, where a dozen witches and wizards sat in rows at small desks, not unlike school desks, though much more highly polished and free from graffiti. Harry paused to watch them, for the effect was quite mesmerizing. They were all waving and twiddling their wands in unison. The squares of colored paper were flying in every direction, with little pink kites. After a few seconds, Harry realized that there was a rhythm to the proceedings, that the papers all formed the same pattern, and after more than a few seconds, he realized that what he was watching were the creation of pamphlets, that the squares were pages, which, when assembled, folded and magicked into place, fell into neat snacks beside each witch or wizard. Harry crept closer, although the workers were so intent on what they were doing that he doubted they would notice carpet-muffled footsteps, and he slid a completed pamphlet from the pile beside a young witch. He examined it beneath his invisibility cloak, its pink cover emblazoned with a golden title.
Mudbloods, and the dangers they pose to the peaceful Pure-Blood Society.
Beneath the title was a picture of a red rose with a simpering face in the middle of its petals, being strangled by a green weed with fangs and a scowl. There was no author's name upon the pamphlet, but again, the scars on the back of his right hand seemed to tingle as he examined it. Then the young witch beside him confirmed his suspicions as she said, still waving and twirling her wand,
Will the old hag be integrating mudbloods all day? Does anyone know?
Careful, said the wizard beside her. Glancing around nervously, one of his pages slipped and fell to the floor.
What? Has she got magic ears as well as an eye now?
The witch glanced towards the shining mahogany door facing the space full of pamphlet makers. Harry looked too, and rage reared in him like a snake. Where there might have been a peephole in a muggle front door, a large, round eye with a bright blue iris had been set into the wool. An eye that was shockingly familiar to anybody who had known Alastor Moody. For a split second, Harry forgot he was invisible. He strode straight over to the door to examine the eye. It was not moving. It gazed blindly upward, frozen. Then the plaque beneath it read,
Dolores Umbridge, Senior Undersecretary to the Minister.
Below that, in slightly shinier new plaque read,
Head of Muggleborn Registration Commission.
Harry looked back at the dozen pamphlet makers. Though they were intent upon their work, he could hardly suppose that they would notice if the door to an empty office were to open in front of them. He therefore withdrew from an inner pocket an odd object with a little waving leg and a rubber bubble horn on the body. Crouching down beneath the cloak, he placed the decoy detonator on the ground. It scuttled away at once, through the legs of a witch and wizard in front of him. A few moments later, during which Harry waited with his hand upon the doorknob, there came a loud bang and a great deal of acrid black smoke billowing from a corner. The young witch in the front row shrieked. Pink pages flew everywhere as she and her fellows jumped up, looking around for the source of the commotion. Harry turned the doorknob, stepped into Umbridge's office, and then closed the door behind him. He felt he had stepped back in time. The room was exactly in Umbridge's office at Hogwarts. Lace draperies, doilies, and dried flowers covered every available surface. The walls bore the same ornamental plates, each featuring a highly colored, beribboned kitten, gambolling and frolicking with sickening cuteness. The desk was covered with flouncy flowered cloth behind Mad Eye's eye. A telescopic attachment behind Umbridge to spy on the workers on the other side of the door. Harry looked through it and saw that they were all still gathering around the decoy detonator. He wrenched the telescope out of the door, leaving a hole behind. Pulling the magical eyeball out of it, he placed it into his pocket. He turned around to face the room and raised the wand and murmured, "Accio locket." Nothing happened, but he had not expected it to. No doubt Umbridge knew all the protective charms and spells, and therefore he hurried behind her desk and began pulling open drawers. He saw quills and notebooks and spellotape, enchanted paper clips that coiled snake-like in their drawers and had been beaten back, a fussy little lace box full of spare hair bows and clips, but no sign of a locket. There was a filing cabinet behind the desk, and Harry set to searching it. Like Filch's filing cabinet at Hogwarts, it was full of folders which labelled with a name. It was not until Harry reached the bottommost drawer that he saw something to distract him from his search. Mr. Weasley's file. He pulled it out and opened it. Blood status: pure blood, but with unacceptable pro-Muggle leanings. Known member of the Order of the Phoenix. Family: wife, pure blood, 7 children, 2 youngest at Hogwarts. NB, youngest son currently at home, seriously ill. Ministry inspectors have confirmed. Security status tracked. All movements being monitored. Strong likelihood, desirable number 1, will contact. Has stayed previously with the Weasley family. Undesirable number 1, Harry muttered under his breath, as he replaced Mr. Weasley's folder and shut the drawer. He had an idea he knew who that was. And sure enough, as he straightened up and glanced around the office for fresh hiding places, he saw a poster of himself on the wall, with the words "Undesirable number 1" emblazoned across his chest. A little pink note was stuck to it with a picture of a kitten in the corner. Harry moved across and read it, and saw that Umbridge had written, "To be punished." Angrier than ever, he proceeded to grope in the bottoms of vases and basks of dried flowers, but was not at all surprised that the locket was not there. He gave the office one last sweeping look, and his heart skipped a beat. Dumbledore was staring at him from a small rectangular mirror propped up on a bookcase beside the desk. Harry had crossed the room at a run and snatched it up, but realized the moment he touched it that it was not a mirror at all. Dumbledore was smiling wistfully out of the front cover of a glossy book. Harry had not immediately noticed the curly green writing that lay across his hat. Life and Lies of Albus Dumbledore, nor the similarly smaller writing across his chest. By Rita Skeeter, best-selling author of Armando Dippet, Master or Moron. Harry opened the book at random and saw a full-page photograph of 2 teenage boys, both laughing immoderately with their arms around each other's shoulders. Dumbledore, now with elbow-length hair, had grown a tiny wispy beard that recalled the one on Krum's chin that had so annoyed Ron. The boy, who had roared in silent amusement beside Dumbledore, had a gleeful, wild look about him. His golden hair fell in curls to his shoulder. Harry wondered whether this was a young Doge. But before he could check the caption, the door to the office opened. If Thickness had not been looking over his shoulder as he entered, Harry would not have had time to pull the invisibility cloak over himself. As it was, he thought Thickness might have caught a glimpse of the movement, because for a moment or two he remained quite still, staring curiously at the place where Harry had just vanished. Perhaps deciding that all he had seen was Dumbledore scratching his nose on the front of the book, but Harry had hastily replaced it upon the shelf. Thickness finally walked to the desk, pointed his wand at the quill standing ready in the inkpot. It sprang out and began scribing a note to Umbridge. Very slowly, hardly daring to breathe, Harry backed out of the office into the open area beyond. The Poundville makers were still clustered around the remains of the decoy detonator, which continued to hoot feebly as it smoked. Harry hurried off up the corridor as a young witch said,
I bet it sneaked up here from the experimental charms. They're so careless. Remember that poisonous duck?
Speeding down toward the lifts, Harry reviewed his options. It had never been likely that the locket had been here at the Ministry, and there was no hope of bewitching its whereabouts out of Umbridge, while she was still sitting in crowded court. Their priority now had to be to leave the Ministry before they were exposed, and try again another day. The first thing to do was to find Ron, and then they could work out a way of extracting Hermione from the courtroom. The lift was empty when it arrived, and Harry jumped in and pulled off the invisibility cloak as it started its descent. To his enormous relief, when it rattled to a halt at level 2, a soaking wet and wild-eyed Ron got in. Morning, Harry stammered. He stammered to Harry as the lift set off again.
Ron, it's me, Harry.
Harry, blimey! I forgot what you looked like. Why isn't Hermione with you?
She had to go down to the courtrooms with Umbridge.
She couldn't refuse, but before Harry could finish, the lift had stopped again. The two doors opened and Mr. Weasley walked inside, talking with an elderly witch whose blonde hair was teased so high it resembled an anthill.
I quite understand what you're saying, Wakanda, but I'm afraid I cannot be party to...
Mr. Weasley broke off. He had noticed Harry. It was very strange to have Mr. Weasley glare at him with that much dislike. The lift doors closed, and the four of them trundled downward once more.
Oh, hello, Reg,
said Mr. Weasley, looking around at the sound of the steady dripping from Ron's robes.
Is it your wife in questioning today? What happened to you? Why are you so wet?
The Axley's office is raining, said Ron as he addressed Mr. Weasley's shoulders, and Harry felt sure he was scared that his father might recognize him if they looked directly into each other's eyes. I couldn't stop it, so they sent me to get Bernie. Pillsworth, I think they said.
Yeah, quite a lot of offices have been raining lately, said Mr. Weasley. Did you try the Metiolo Recanto, Jinx? It worked for Bletchley.
Metlio Jinx Recanto, whispered Ron. No, I didn't. Thanks, Arthur. The lift doors opened and the old witch with the anthill hair left. Ron darted past her out of sight. Harry made to follow him, but found his path blocked by Percy Weasley as he strode into the lift, his nose buried in some papers he was reading. Not until the doors had clung shut did Percy realize that he was in a lift with his father. He glanced up, saw Mr. Weasley, turned reddish red, and left the lift the moment the doors opened again. The second time, Harry tried to get out, but this time found his way blocked by Mr. Weasley's arm.
One moment, Runcorn. The lift doors closed, and as they clanked down to another floor, Mr. Weasley said, I hear you laid information out about Dirk Cresswell. Harry had the impression that Mr. Weasley's anger was no less because of the brush with Percy. He decided his best chance was to act stupid. Sorry? He said. Don't pretend, Runcorn, said Mr. Weasley fiercely. You tracked down the wizard who faked his family tree, didn't you? So what if I did? Said Harry. So Dirk Cresswell's 10 times the wizard you are, said Mr. Weasley quietly as the lift sank ever lower. And if he survives Azkaban, you'll have to answer to him, not to mention his wife and his sons and his friends. Arthur, Harry interrupted. You know you're being tracked, don't you? Is that a threat, Runcorn? Said Mr. Weasley loudly. No, said Harry. It's a fact. They're watching your every move. The lift doors opened. They had reached the atrium. Mr. Weasley gave Harry a scathing look and swept from the lift. Harry stood there shaking. He wished he was impersonating someone other than Runcorn. The lift doors clanged shut. Harry pulled out the invisibility cloak and put it back on. He would try to extricate Hermione on his own while Ron was dealing with the reigning office. When the doors opened and he stepped out into the torchlit stone passageway, quite different from the wood-panelled carpeting corridors above. As the lift rattled away again, Harry shivered slightly, looking towards the distant black door that marked the entrance to the Department of Mysteries. He set off, his destination not the black door, but the doorway he remembered on the left-hand side, which opened into a flight of stairs down to the court chambers. His mind grappled with the possibilities as he crept down them. He still had a couple of decoy detonators, but perhaps it would be better to simply knock on the courtroom door, enter as Runcorn, and ask for a quick word with Mafalda. Of course, he did not know whether Runcorn was sufficiently important to get away with this, and even if he managed it, Hermione's non-reappearance might trigger a search before they were clear from the Ministry. Lost in thought, he did not immediately register the unnatural chill that was creeping over him, as if he were descending into fog. It was becoming colder and colder with every step he took. A cold that reached right down into his throat and tore at his lungs. And then he felt a stealing sense of despair and hopelessness, filling him, expanding inside of him. Wait, is this a writing group? Not particularly. We do advise quite a few writers, though. Jonesy, you're heading out, my friend. All right, brother. Well, I hope that you enjoyed what time you did get to spend here with us tonight. And I hope that you rest well, you dream of victory, and that you rise tomorrow ready to face the goddamn day, and that all things you do tomorrow fall beneath your feet. Rest well, brother, and we will see you next time. Thank you so kindly for your generosity this evening, and have a wonderful rest of your evening, my friend. Did we get raided? We got raided by the All-Father, and I can actually grab the horn this time. Hopefully nobody is sleeping. Let's get a toot on the raid horn for the All-Father. Thank you for the raid, brother. I hope your stream went well. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, Goblins over on TikTok was asking questions about if we were a writers group or not. Viking raspberries, yes indeed. Thank you for 5 years, Jonesy. It's been an absolute privilege to have you, my friend. Good night, I'm heading to bed. It was lovely to be here to have a Cristalla. Rest well. Thank you kindly for being here, and thank you for joining us for a very, very long waffle session. We have, I think we have 6 pages left in the story, so probably about 15, maybe 20 minutes. But yes, there are quite a few writers in the tavern, and I do advise them if they ask, because the lady of the tavern and I are both
storytellers. I'm a classically trained storyteller, and the lady is an artist. And we invest very heavily in the art of storytelling. If I say I like your waffles, it sounds like a part. It does. It does indeed, Matty. Dementors, he thought. As he reached the foot of the stairs and turned to his right, he saw a dreadful scene. The dark passage outside the courtrooms was packed with tall, black-hooded figures, their faces completely hidden, their ragged breathing the only sound in the place. The petrified muggle-borns brought in for questioning sat huddled and shivering on the hardwood benches. Most of them were hiding their faces in their hands, perhaps in the instinctive attempt to shield themselves from the Dementors' greedy mouths. Some were accompanied by family, others sat alone. The Dementors were gliding up and down in front of him, and the cold and the hopeless and the despair of the place laid themselves upon Harry like a curse. Fight it, he told himself. But he knew that he could not conjure a Patronus here without revealing himself instantly. So he moved forward as silently as he could. With every step he took, numbness seemed to steal over his brain. But he forced himself to think of Hermione and of Ron, who needed him. That's all right, goblins. Ashley is a barkeep. She's a moderator, so she'll see your message and she'll let you know. Moving through the towering black figures was terrifying. The eyeless faces, hidden beneath their hoods, turned as he passed, and he felt sure that they sensed him. Sensed perhaps the human presence that still had some hope, some resilience. And then, absurdly and shockingly, amid the frozen silence, one of the dungeon doors on the left of the corridor was flung open, and screams echoed out of it. No, no, I'm a half-blood. I'm a half-blood, I tell you. My father was a wizard. He was. Look him up. Archie Alderton. He was well-known broomstick designer. Look him up, I tell you. Get your hands off me. Get your hands off. This was your final warning. Umbridge's soft voice, magically magnified so that it sounded clearly over the man's desperate screams. If you struggle, you will be subjected to the Dementor's kiss. The man's screams subsided, but dry sobs echoed through the corridor. Take him away, said Umbridge. Two Dementors appeared in the doorway of the courtroom, their rotting, scabbed hands clutching the upper arms of a wizard who appeared to be fainting. They glided away down the corridor with him, and the darkness they trailed behind them swallowed him from sight. Next, Harry Catamole, called Umbridge. A small woman stood up, and she was trembling from head to foot. Her dark hair was smoothed back into a bun, and she wore long, plain robes. Her face was completely bloodless as she passed the Dementors. Harry saw her shudder. He did it instinctively, without any sort of plan, because he hated the sight of her walking alone into the dungeon. As the door began to swing closed, he slipped into the courtroom behind her. It was not the same room in which he had been interrogated for improper use of magic. This one was much smaller, though the ceiling was quite as high. It gave the claustrophobic sense that being stuck at the bottom of a deep well. There were more rooms in here, casting their freezing aura over the place. They stood like faceless sentinels in the corners farthest from the high raised platform. Here, behind the balustrade, sat Umbridge, with Yaxley on one side of her and Hermione, quite as white-faced as Mrs. Catamole, on the other side. At the foot of the platform, a bright silver long-haired cat prowled up and down, and Harry realized that it was there to protect the prosecutors from their despair that emanated from the Dementors. That was for the accused of evil, not the accusers. Sit down, said Umbridge in her soft, silky voice. Mrs. Cattermole stumbled to the single seat in the middle of the floor, beneath the raised platform. The moment she sat down, the chains clinked out of the arms of the chair and bound her there.
You are Mary Elizabeth Cattermole?
Said Umbridge. Mrs. Cattermole gave a single shaking nod.
Married to Reginald Cattermole of the Magical Maintenance Department?
Mrs. Cattermole burst into tears.
I don't know where he is. He was supposed to meet me here.
Umbridge ignored her.
Mother to Maisie, Ellie, and Alfred Cattermole?
Mrs. Cattermole sobbed harder than ever.
They're so frightened. They think I might not come home.
Spare us, spat Yaxley. A brat of mudbloods, do not stir our sympathies. Mrs. Cattermole's sobs masked Harry's footsteps as he made his way fully forward, the steps that led up to the platform. The moment he had passed the place where the Patronus cat patrolled, he felt the change in temperature. It was warm and comfortable here. The Patronus, he was sure, was Umbridge's, and it glowed brightly because she was so happy here, in her element, upholding the twisted laws that she had helped to write. Slowly and very carefully, he edged his way along the platform behind Umbridge, Yaxley, and Hermione, taking a seat behind the latter. He was worried about making Hermione jump. He thought of casting Muffialato charm upon Umbridge and Yaxley, but even murmuring the word might cause Hermione alarm. Then Umbridge raised her voice to address Mrs. Cattermole, and Harry seized the chance. "I'm behind you," he whispered into Hermione's ear, and as he had expected, she jumped so violently she nearly overturned the bottle of ink with which she was supposed to be recording the interview. But both Umbridge and Yaxley were concentrated upon Mrs. Cattermole, and this went unnoticed.
A wand was taken from you upon your arrival at the Ministry today, Mrs. Cattermole.
Umbridge was saying.
8 3/4 inches, cherry, unicorn hair core. Do you recognize that description?
Mrs. Cattermole nodded, mopping her eyes with her sleeve.
Could you please tell us from which witch or wizard you took that wand? Talk,
Says Mrs. Cattermole.
I didn't take it from anybody. I bought it when I was 11 years old. It chose me.
She cried harder than ever. Umbridge laughed, a soft, girlish laugh that made Harry want to attack her. She leaned forward over the barrier to better observe her victim, and something gold swung forward too, and dangled over the void. The locket, Hermione had seen it. She let out a little squeak, but Umbridge and Yaxley, still intent upon their prey, were deaf to everything else.
No,
Said Umbridge.
no, I don't think so, Mrs. Cattermole. Wands only choose witches or wizards. You are not a witch. I have your responses to the questionnaire that was sent to me here, Mafalda. Please pass them to me.
Umbridge held out a small hand. She looked so toad-like at that moment that Harry was quite surprised not to see webs between her stubby fingers. Hermione's hands were shaking with shock. She fumbled in the pile of documents balanced on the chair beside her, finally withdrawing a sheaf of parchment with Mrs. Cattermole's name on it.
That's pretty, Dolores.
She said, pointing at the pendant gleaming in the ruffled folds of Umbridge's blouse.
What?
Snapped Umbridge, glancing down.
Oh, yes, an old family heirloom.
She said, patting the locket lying on her large bosom.
S stands for Selwyn. I'm related to the Selwyns. Indeed, there are few pure-blood families to whom I am not related. A pity.
She continued in a louder voice, flicking through Mrs. Cattermole's questionnaire.
But the same cannot be said for you. Parents, profession, greengrocers.
He actually laughed jeeringly. Below, the fluffy silver cat patrolled up and down, and the Dementor stood waiting in the corners. It was Umbridge's lie that brought the blood surging into Harry's brain and obliterated his sense of caution. That the locket had taken as a bribe from a petty criminal was being used to bolster her own pure blood credentials. He raised his wand, not even troubling to keep it concealed beneath the invisibility cloak, and said, "Stupefy!" There was a flash of red light, and Umbridge crumpled, and her forehead hit the edge of the balustrade. Mrs. Cattermole's papers slid off onto her lap, onto the floor, and down below. The prowling silver cat vanished, and ice-cold air hit them like an oncoming wind. He actually, confused, looked around for the source of the trouble and saw Harry's disembodied hand, wand, pointing at him, and he tried to draw his own wand, but too late. "Stupefy!" He actually slid to the ground to lie curled on the floor. "Harry!" "Hermione, if you think I was going to sit here and let her pretend—" "Harry, Mrs. Cattermole!" Harry whirled around, throwing off the invisibility cloak. Down below, the Dementors had moved out of the corners. They were gliding towards the woman chained to the chair. Whether because the Patronus had vanished or because they sensed their masters were no longer in control, they seemed to have abandoned restraint. Mrs. Cattermole let out a terrible scream as fear as a slimy scabbed hand grasped her chin and forced her face back. "Expecto Patronum!" Harry's silver stag soared from the tip of his wand and leapt towards the Dementors, which fell back and melted into the dark shadows again. The stag's light, more powerful and more warming than the cat's protection, filled the whole dungeon. It was cantering around and around the room. "Get the Horcrux!" Harry told Hermione. He ran back down the steps, stuffing the invisibility cloak back into his bag, and approached Mrs. Cattermole.
"You,"
she whispered, gazing into his face.
"But Red said you were the one who submitted my name for questioning."
"Did I?" said Harry, tugging at the chains binding her arms. "What if I change your heart? Defender!" Nothing happened. "Hermione, do you know how to get rid of these chains?"
"Wait, it's something up here."
"Hermione, we're surrounded by Dementors."
"I know that, Harry. But if she wakes up and the locket's gone, I need to duplicate. Gebenio. There, that should fool her."
Hermione came running down the stairs.
Let's see. Relatio.
The chains clinked and withdrew into the arms of the chair. Mrs. Cattermole looked just as frightened as ever before.
I don't understand,"
she whispered. "You're going to leave here with us," said Harry, pulling her to her feet. "Go home, grab your children and get out. Get out of the country if you've got to. Disguise yourselves and run. You've seen how it is. You won't get anything like a fair hearing here."
"Harry,"
said Hermione.
"how are we going to get out of here? All those Dementors are outside the door."
"Patronuses," said Harry, pointing his wand at his own. The stag slowed and walked, gleaming brightly towards the door. "As many as we can muster. Do yours, Hermione."
Expecto Patronum,"
said Hermione. Nothing happened. "It's the only spell she ever has trouble with," Harry told the completely bemused Mrs. Cattermole. "But unfortunate, really. Come on, Hermione."
"Expecto Patronum."
Silver Auto burst out of the end of Hermione's wand and swam gracefully through the air to join the stag. "Come on," said Harry, and he led Hermione and Mrs. Cattermole to the door. When the Patronuses gliding out of the dungeon there were cries of shock from the people waiting outside. Harry looked around, and the Dementors were falling back on both sides of him, melding into the darkness and scattering before the silver creatures. "It's been decided that you should all go home and go into hiding with your families," Harry told the waiting Muggle-borns, who were dazzled by the light of the Patronuses and still cowering slightly. "Go abroad if you can. Just get well away from the Ministry. That's the new official position. Now, if you all just follow the Patronuses, you'll be able to leave from the atrium." They managed to get up the stone steps without being intercepted, but as they approached the lifts, Harry started to have misgivings. if they emerged into the atrium with a silver stag and otter soaring alongside it, 20 or so people, half of them accused Muggleborns, he would not help feeling that they would attract unwanted attention. He had just reached the unwelcome conclusion when the lift clanged to a halt in front of him. "Reg!" screamed Mrs. Cattermole as she threw herself into Ron's arms.
Roncorn let me out. He attacked Umbridge and Yaxley, and he's told me that all of us need to leave the country. I think we better do it, Reg. I really do. Let's hurry home and fetch the children. Why are you so wet?
Water? Muttered Ron, disengaging himself. "Harry, they know there are intruders inside the Ministry. Something about a hole in Umbridge's office door. I reckon we've got 5 minutes, if that." Harry's Patronus vanished with a pop as he turned a horror-struck face to Harry. "Harry, if we're trapped here, we won't be if we move fast," said Harry. He addressed the silent group behind them, who were all gawping at him. "Who's all got wands?" About half of them raised their hands. "Okay, all of you who haven't got wands need to attach yourself to someone who has. We'll need to be fast before they stop us. Come on." They all managed to cram themselves into 2 lifts. Harry's Patronus stood sentinel before the golden grills as they shut, and the lifts began to rise.
"Level 8,
said the witch's cool voice.
Atrium."
Harry knew at once that they were in trouble. The atrium was full of people moving from fireplace to fireplace, sealing them off.
"Hurry,"
squeaked Hermione.
"what are we going to?"
"Stop!" Harry thundered, and the powerful voice of Runcorn echoed through the atrium. The wizard sealing the fireplaces froze. "Follow me!" He whispered to a group of terrified Muggleborns who moved forward in a huddle, shepherded by Ron and Hermione. "What's up, Albert?" said the same balding wizard who had followed Harry out of the fireplace earlier. He looked nervous. "This lot need to leave before you see the exits," said Harry with all authority he could muster. The group of wizards in front of him looked at one another. "We've been told to seal all the exits and not let anyone—" "Are you contradicting me?" said Harry, blustered. "Would you like me to have your family tree examined? Like I had Cresso's?" Sorry, gasped the balding wizard backing away. I didn't mean nothing, Albert, but I thought they were in for questioning and... "Their blood is pure," said Harry in his deep voice, impressively through the hall. "Purer than any of yours, I dare say. Off you go!" he boomed to the Muggleborns, who scurried forward into the fireplace and began to vanish in pairs. The Ministry wizards hung back, some looking confused and others scared and resentful, and then... "Mary!" Mrs. Cattermole looked over her shoulder. The real Reg Cattermole, no longer vomiting but pale and wan, had just come running out of a lift.
"Reg!"
She looked over from her husband to Ron, who swore loudly. The balding wizard gaped, and his head turning ludicrously from one Reg Cattermole to the other. "Hey, what's going on? What's this?" "Seal the exit! Seal it!" Yaxley had just burst from another lift and was running towards the group beside the fireplaces, into which all of the Muggleborns but Mrs. Cattermole had now vanished. As the balding wizard lifted his hand, Harry raised his enormous fist and punched him, sending him flying through the air. "He's been helping the Muggleborns, Yaxley!" Harry shouted. The balding wizard's colleagues set in an uproar, under cover of which Ron grabbed Mrs. Cattermole, pulled her into the still open fireplace, and disappeared. Confused, Yaxley looked from Harry, who punched the wizard, while the real Reg Cattermole screamed, "My wife! Who was that with my wife? What's going on?" Harry saw Yaxley's head turn, and saw an inkling of truth dawn on his brutish face. "Come on!" Harry shouted at Hermione. He seized her hand, and they jumped into the fireplace. Together, as Yaxley's curse sailed over Harry's head, they spun a few seconds before shooting up out of the toilet into a cubicle. Harry flung open the door, and Ron was standing there on the other side of the sinks, still wrestling with Mrs. Cattermole.
"Reg, I don't understand."
"Let go! I'm not your husband! You've got to go home!" There was a noise in the cubicle behind them, and Harry looked around, and Yaxley had reappeared. "Let's go!" Harry yelled. He seized Hermione by the hand and Ron by the arm and turned on the spark. Darkness engulfed them, along with the sensation of compressing bands, but something was wrong. Hermione's hand seemed to be sliding out of his grip. He wondered whether he was going to suffocate. He could not breathe or see, and the only solid thing in the world were Ron's arms and Hermione's fingers, which were slowly slipping away. And then he saw the door of number 12 Grimmauld Place. With its serpent door knocker, before he could draw breath, there was a scream and a flash of purple light, and Hermione's hand was suddenly vice-like upon his, and everything went dark again. And so ends Chapter 14 of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Elizabeth, hello! I like how you do the voices of the characters. I do my very best. I'm glad that you enjoy it. And Mel, I'm glad that you've enjoyed yourself. What is happening with the music? It sounds like a Caribbean music in the background. Does it really? I'm sorry. It's a random playlist of copyright-free stuff that won't get us in trouble. Holy waffles, we made it. We did! Just under an hour. I think we did about 45 minutes. We're gonna turn off that music for the moment. Key, hello! We'll be lurking with the sound off, working on a story. And I'm in the groove. That's spectacular to hear. Cindy, hello, good to see you. Now, what about them sandwiches? All right, let's not get started again. All right, friends. I think that we are just about near the end. But why don't we do some songs before we hop off? So, start of the counting down. I think I need to practice start of the counting down a little bit more before we go into it again. But hello, friends. To everyone who popped in while my head was down, and to everybody who was away and away. Welcome, my friends. It's good to see you. All right, Frost, I figured you would need to get to bed, my friend. Rest well and rise tomorrow ready to face the day. Thank you for being here, brother. Thank you for tending the bar. I appreciate you. Of course, I get on just as things are ending. We'll be on for a little bit longer, Key. We'll be on for a little bit longer. This was lovely, perfect and cozy game too. I'm glad that you enjoyed yourself, Mel. At the end of every story time, we do shanties together as well. We do shanties and ballads. We usually do 2 to 4 of them before we sign off. So we got a little bit more time before we end up for the evening. But Key, even if you're in at the end, I'm glad that you dropped in. We can do Tale of the Shadow, Matty. What song would you like to hear, my darling? Huh? You are mumbling. I can't hear anything you're saying. You don't know. All right. Let's see. We can do Tale of the Shadow. We can do the Irish pub song, Esther, Doolamon. I don't know if I know Doolamon well enough, but hang on, let me see. Let me see. We can do Wellerman. We haven't done Wellerman in a good long while. We can do Wellerman. Goblins was thinking Wellerman too. Absolutely, let's do it. Not that I expect you to sing it, but did you get a chance to check out the one I posted in Gilded? I did not. Where did you post it? Where did you post it? Which channel is it in? And how long ago was it? Because again, because we're transferring, I've not been very active in the guild. Yeah, Wellerman is up there in the top 5 most requested ones that we've done for sure. No, okay. So I don't know Dulamon well enough to do it. But I'll practice it for you, Michael. I'll practice it for you. The lady and I will both practice. It'll probably sound better with her singing it than me, but I will practice Dulamon for you. I actually dozed off with Elsie while you were reading. Did you really? The last shanty? Yeah, I know the last shanty. We can do the last shanty, sure. All right, so we will do Wellerman. We will do the Irish pub song. We will do the Tale of the Shadow, and we will do the last shanty. Oh, Bones in the Ocean. Is that the one that you're talking about, Valkyrie? Let me confirm with Valkyrie which one is the one, because we'll do the four, and then my darling, would you be willing to do Savage Daughter for the people? It was requested by Matty. You know what? I didn't. I mean, I did, but I didn't. Hang on, friends. We're gonna run ads for a second. I'm gonna pop up and stretch, and then we're gonna do. Oh, it's in the song is "Bones" by Sail North. Bones by Sail. I don't think I know that one. I'm gonna stretch real quick, guys, and then we'll do songs. We're gonna run ads real quick on Twitch. Give me 3 minutes to stretch, and then we're gonna do songs. Okay, so Valkyrie, I do not know that song, but I am willing to learn it because that one's actually fairly simple. I'd be willing to learn it for you. If you would like. Rich, hello, hello. Good to see you, is what I meant to say. Yeah, well, we do shanties and ballads, though, so it's not strictly shanties. We also do ballads, so. But yeah, Valkyrie, I will learn Bones for you. I don't know it, so I don't want to butcher it if I haven't had a chance, because I've never heard that song before. So I will, and then Milu out here praising the chair. Of course, you guys. All right, so let's do this. We will do. And the lady and I are practicing some more classic Welga songs that are actually sung in Irish. Will you shut up? You're being loud for no reason. Shush. No, shush. We're all over here. What are you meowing at? Good lord. Now he sits down and licks himself. I think it's what we would definitely have fun singing together. I think that's true. Yeah, this Boo just being absolutely insufferable. Okay, so we're gonna do Wellerman. We're gonna do the Tale of the Shadow. We're gonna do Irish pop song, and then did we want to do Bones in the Ocean? Send them to me in a message, Matty. You and Valkyrie send them both to me in a message, so I remember to learn them. Because I also have to learn a couple of the ones that Bear sent me as well. So we've been so busy with this transfer between Gilded and Discord, and then we had all of those technical difficulties last week. I'm off. Last Shanty. See what? We do Last Shanty. Last Shanty's good. All right. We'll start out with the Tale of the Shadow, since that one's fast paced. Alright, friends. I will do Bones in the Ocean too. Why not? Why not? We're ending a little bit early because I got home late, so why not? Alright. Tale of the Shadow's pretty fast too, so we'll get through that one fast. What's your wishes, friends? Because we're about to see. If you've never been here before, for shanties, we do not sing well, we just sing for fun. So join in if you know the words, and if you don't know the words, mumble like you do. Prost. I sit upon the sea to search for something. Messing up right there. For the 1000th time, if you need help transferring, let me know. I've experienced building Discord communities after AFG had to rebuild. I appreciate your love. You and I are going to be talking next week anyways, so I'll chat with you about it. Hey, Digger, hello, Digger and Dimples, hello, good to see you. You guys came in right as I mumbled the song. I set upon the sea to search for phantom sails, some tales my mum told me. A ghostly galleon filled with gold, she sails alone. No crew, no captain's guiding hand can tame the one the sailors call the Shadow. Sun and horizon met, I weighed the anchor, hoisted sails, my course was set. My cutthroat crew conspiring with the stars a guide. They point the way through perils fraught, and lead us to the one they call the Shadow. None can tame the one the sailors call the Shadow. Lean left, hard right, hold tightly to her helm, she'll try to drown you just for spite. Heave ho, till first light, she'll give a fight to all who tried to claim the Shadow. None can tame the one the sailors call the Shadow. A mighty tempest grew, the banshee cried, turn back, but our resolve was true. We pointed bow ahead and shouted, we'll break through. The jaws of hell can't hold us back. There's nothing that can keep us from the shadows. The winds blew stronger still. The ocean raged against us, tried to break our will. The sirens in the water thirsty for the kill. Our vessel reeling to and fro, to bear us to the one they call the shadow. None can keep us from the one they call the shadow. Lean left, hard right. Hold tightly to her helm, she'll try to drown you just for spite. Heave ho, till first light. She'll give a fight to all who try to claim the shadow. None can tame the one the sailors call the shadow. As thunder split the sky, the lightning drew a shape beyond the tempest sigh. A chill ran through me spine as legend came alive. Avast, I cried, all hands, as we prepared to take the one they call the shadow. As we approached her shell, the skies grew silent, seas went calm as if by spell. No sign of fight or flight, for in her all was well. Until I tried to take her helm. Her rigging came alive, she hung me crew before me eyes. She stole my sight and cursed me captain of the shadow. She took my eyes and cursed me captain of the shadow. Lean left, hard right, steer clear of her, I fear she'll try to eat. I fear she'll eat your soul, she'll take your life. Heave ho, to first light. She'll claim the souls of those who tried to claim the shadow. None can tame the one the sailors call the shadow. None can tame the one the sailors call the shadow. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this song is a horror story about a whale, yes? It very well could be. I have no idea. You'd have to ask Matty, he knows. Will you shush, please? Shush. Put your mouth on, huh? Get out of here. You're all so loud for no reason. Also, friends, I committed a cardinal sin. Normally I make the lady coffee in the morning, but she had a bit of a wild couple of days, so she slept a little bit late today, and so I didn't get her coffee today, so I deserve to be thrown into a volcano. Have you ever heard of the version... Have you ever heard the version from Ekaterina Shalovha? Imbecile. Imbecile, absolute imbecile. All right, next let's do Irish pub song next. Irish pub song next is an easy one. Digger, thank you for the you're awesome. No, you're awesome. Thank you for the live. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you kindly. Deeply appreciated. Oh, the question was, oh, whole AI or whole I. Welcome in. I'm very glad you could join us. Valkyrie was asking if this was a song about a horror story about a whale, and I am unsure if that is the case. He did. He did. He popped it.
Is it safe to say that the watery part's not safe then?
It's very safe to say. Alright, this is the Irish pub song. No, somebody called Whole AI, followed us on Twitch, marked the tavern on the map. The Valkyrie's question was if the Tale of the Shadow is about a whale. A horror story about a whale. Why are you so loud?
Like a ship.
Yeah, I believe it's about a ship, but Matty would know better than I. It's one of his favorite songs. What? What? You're being obnoxious. What do you want? You have food, you have water. I know your box is clean. Oh my goodness. What? Are you bored? Are you bored? Is that the problem? Are you bored? You need me to play with you? Huh? 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 You bored? Or on your wheel? Stop being an absolute menace to society. I swear to God. These animals are so spoiled. He sits over there, he's like, come pay attention to me. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I would know. I'll have to look it up though. Message me that, Valkyrie. I'll put some research into it. I'll have to give her a look, Michael. I don't know if I don't recognize the name right off the top, but I'll give it a look. All right, Irish pub song. Here we go, friends. This is the version by the High Kings. Well, you're walking through a city street. You could be in Peru, and you hear a distant call, and you know it's meant for you. Then you drop what you are doing, and you join the merry mob. And before you know just where you are, you're in an Irish pub. They've got one in Honolulu, they've got one in Moscow too. They got 4 of them in Sydney and a couple in Kathmandu. So whether you sing or pull a pint, you'll always have a job, 'cause wherever you go around the world, you find an Irish pub. Now, the design is fairly simple, and it usually works the same. You'll have Razor Houghton scoring in the Ireland-England game, and you know you're in an Irish pub the minute you're in the door, for a couple of boys with boards will be murdering Christy Moore. They've got one in Honolulu, they've got one in Moscow too. They got 4 of them in Sydney and a couple in Kathmandu. So whether you sing or pull a pint, you'll always have a job, 'cause wherever you go around the world, you find an Irish pub. Now the owner is Norwegian, and the manager comes from Cork, and the lad who's holding up the bar says only just work. He was born and bred in Bolton, but his mommy's from Kildare. He's going to make his fortune soon and move to County Clare. They've got one in Honolulu, they've got one in Moscow too. They got 4 of them in Sydney and a couple in Kathmandu. So whether you sing or pull a pint, you'll always have a job, 'cause wherever you go around the world, you find an Irish pub. Now it's time for me to go, I have to catch me train. So leave you sitting at the bar to face the wind and rain, for I have that pint you owe me, if I'm not gone on the drive, when we meet next week in Frankfurt in the fields of Athenry. They've got one in Honolulu, they've got one in Moscow too. They got 4 of them in Sydney and a couple in Kathmandu. So whether you sing or pull a pint, you'll always have a job, 'cause wherever you go around the world, you find an Irish pub. They've got one in Honolulu, they've got one in Moscow too. They got 4 of them in Sydney and a couple in Kathmandu. So whether you sing or pull a pint, you'll always have a job, 'cause wherever you go around the world, you find an Irish pub. Oh, wherever you go around the world, you find an Irish pub. Launch it, my friends. Cheers. All right, let's do Wellerman next. We'll do Wellerman next. Oppa, oppa. Of course, Esther, my pleasure as always. Okay, hang on. Let me get the link going. Long wait coffee before midnight. Should be up until 5 a.m. again. Ah. Okay, alright. Wellerman, here it comes. There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of that ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew up her bow, dip down, or blow, my bully boys blow. Ha! Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She'd not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. Captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Ha! Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's sail came up and caught her. All hands to the side, harpooned and fought her. Oh, when she dived down low, ha! Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. No line was cut, no whale was free. The captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the whaleman's creed. She took that ship in tow. Ha! Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. For 40 days or even more, the line went slack, then tight once more. Our boats were lost, there were only 4, and still that whale did go. Ha! Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. As far as I've heard, the fight's still on. The line's not cut and the whale's not gone. The Wellerman makes his irregular call to encourage the captain, crew, and all. Ha! Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Beautiful. Thank you, my friends. Thank you, Matty. I appreciate you, brother. All right. Well, we do the Irish pub song. We do Tale of the Shadow. And now we're doing the Last Shanty and Bones in the Ocean. Of course, Esther. Always my pleasure. Because I think Last Shanty is fairly quick, if I remember right. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Thank you, Ashley. Appreciate you. All right. Well, me father often told me when I was just a lad, a sailor's life is very hard, the food is always bad. But now I've joined the Navy, I'm aboard a man of war, and now I've found a sailor ain't a sailor anymore. Don't haul on the rope, don't climb up the mast, and if you see a sailing ship, it might be your last. Just get your civvies ready for another run ashore. A sailor ain't a sailor, ain't a sailor anymore. Well, the kick-off our mess, he says, we had it soft. It wasn't like that in his day when we were up aloft. We like our bunks and sleeping bags, but what's a hammock for? Swinging from the deckhead or lying on the floor. Don't haul on the rope, don't climb up the mast, and if you see a sailing ship, it might be your last. To get the civvies ready for another run ashore. A sailor ain't a sailor, ain't a sailor anymore. They gave us an engine that first went up and down, and then when with more technology the engine went around. We know our steam and diesels, but what's the main yard for? A stoker ain't a stoker with a shovel anymore. Don't haul on the rope, don't climb up the mast. And if you see a sailing ship, it might be your last. Just get your civvies ready for another run ashore. A sailor ain't a sailor, ain't a sailor anymore. And 2 cans of beer a day, and that's your bleeding lot. But now you've got an extra one because they stopped the tot. So we'll put our civvy clothes on and find a pub ashore. Just a sailor's just a sailor, just like he was before. I stumbled there. Don't haul on the rope, don't climb up the mast. And if you see a sailing ship, it might be your last. Just get your civvies ready for another run ashore. A sailor ain't a sailor, ain't a sailor anymore. Oh, don't haul on the rope, don't climb up the mast. And if you see a sailing ship, it might be your last. Just get your civvies ready for another run ashore. A sailor's just a sailor, just like he was before. Oh, a sailor ain't a sailor, ain't a sailor anymore. Thank you for the song, my friends. All right. I'm going to do Bones in the Ocean too because Goblins had requested. So let's do Bones in the Ocean. Bones in the Ocean is a little bit long. But we'll do that one, and then the lady will do Savage Daughter for you guys. And that'll be where I send you all off. Oh, yeah. It is a good one. Where is this one from? I've never... it's in a few different places. The Longest John's did a version of it. And I think Nathan Evans did a version of it. But it's called The Last Shanty. Rock on! Hello, my friend. I hope all is well. All is well. I hope all is well with you. I have to leave. Love to you all. Good night, Ashley. Rest well. Thank you for a wonderful evening. Thank you for helping with the barkeeping. Thank you for holding up the bar over on TikTok. It is deeply appreciated. Give that wonderful man of yours a big old smooch from the rest of us. And have a wonderful night, love. I hope you rest well and you rise tomorrow ready to face the day. Last Shanty's a great song. Thank you, Castle. Of course. Always a pleasure. Yeah, Nathan Evans is the most recent one to do it. The version I prefer is the Longest John's version. Nathan Evans is a little bit too fast for me. But it is indeed a grand song. With some wrong lyrics. Thanks, Matty. I appreciate that. Mel, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. All right, last song from me, and then you guys will get the lady. Oh, I bid farewell to the port and the land, and I paddle away from brave England's white sand, to search for my long ago forgotten friends, to search for a place I hear all sailors end. As the souls of the dead fill the space in my mind, I search without sleeping, till peace I can find. I fear not the weather, I fear not the sea. I remember the fallen, do they think of me? When their bones in the ocean forever will be. Plot a course to the night, to a place I once knew, to a place where my hope died along with my crew. So I swallow my grief and face life's final test, to promise of peace and the solace of rest. As the songs of the dead fill the space in my ears, their laughter like children, their beckoning cheers, my heart longs to join them, sing songs of the sea. I remember the fallen, do they think of me? When their bones in the ocean forever will be. When the last of my ghostly shipmates... Sorry. When at last before my ghostly shipmates I stand, I shed a small tear for my home upon land. Though their eyes speak of depths filled with struggle and strife, their smiles below say I don't owe them my life. as the souls of the dead fill the space of my eyes, and my boat listed over and tried to capsize. I'm this far from drowning, this far from the sea. I remember the living, do they think of me? When my bones in the ocean forever will be. Now that I'm staring down at the darkest abyss, I'm not sure what I want, but I don't think it's this. As my comrades call to stand fast and forge on, I make sail for the dawn till the darkness has gone. As the souls of the dead live forever in my mind, as I live all the years that they left me behind, I'll stay on the shore but still gaze at the sea. I remember the fallen and they think of me, for our souls in the ocean together will be. I remember the fallen and they think of me, for our souls in the ocean together will be. I think I'll be all right, Matty. I'll probably figure it out. All right, friends. Now for the piece de resistance. I will have the lady sing to you now. Are you ready, my darling? As ready as you can be. That sounds pretty ready to me. Let's send them over your way.
Alrighty.
Thank you for another delightful evening. It makes us all feel so very welcome. You're absolutely welcome, Melinda. It's always my pleasure. I appreciate you guys for giving us a wonderful evening in the tavern. It means the world. Milu says hello.
Hello. Love you, but you're gonna have to move.
All of the prayers for you, Snowy. I hope that you're quite all right. But our thoughts and prayers will, of course, be with you if you need them, and even if you don't, they will be. Manny says I updated Borderlands 4, by the way.
That's good.
Esther also says hi, Una, from me and Elsie.
Hello. Alrighty. I am my mother's savage daughter, the one who runs barefoot, cursing sharp stones. I am my mother's savage daughter. I will not cut my hair. I will not lower my voice. My mother's child is a savage. She looks for her romance in the colors of stones, in the faces of cats, in the fall of feathers, in the dancing of fire, in the curve of old bones. I am my mother's savage daughter, the one who runs barefoot, cursing sharp stones. I am my mother's savage daughter. I will not cut my hair. I will not lower my voice. My mother's child dances in darkness. She sings heathen songs by the light of the moon, and watches the stars and renames the planets, and dreams she can reach them with a song and a broom. I am my mother's savage daughter, the one who runs barefoot, cursing sharp stones. I am my mother's savage daughter. I will not cut my hair. I will not lower my voice. We are all brought forth out of darkness into this world through blood and through pain, and deep in our bones the old songs are waking, so sing them with voices of thunder and rain. We are our mother's savage daughters, the ones who run barefoot, cursing sharp stones. We are our mother's savage daughters. We will not cut our hair. We will not lower our voice.
Huzzah to the lady. Yeah, Mel, that is the lady of the tavern. Matty says, my mother also says hi to Una. And Esther says, thank you, Una, for your beautiful song. And Cormac says, props to the lady. And of course, we all raise our glass to the lady because why not? She's wonderful. Goblins, I hope that you enjoyed your time with us tonight. Mel, I hope you enjoyed your first time with us live in the tavern. Because Mel, so for those of you who don't know, Mel is over on YouTube, is actually our first community member to join us from Red Note. I started putting out stories on Red Note a little while back, and Mel is our first patron to join from Red Note. So absolutely glad I stumbled on you again, and we are glad as well. Make sure you mark on the map so you can find your way back again. I do try to put out stories every single day for you all, and there will be much more coming soon. And for anybody who wasn't here, I did promise that if we got to a certain number of patrons in the tavern, and again, you guys don't need to feel pressured to do this because I feel like the people who are going to come and follow the tavern are the ones who want to be here, and I want it to be that way. But just so that there's something that some goal to hit, I will dress up as Santa Claus for one of the. Ooh, but maybe we'll do like Danish Santa Claus. I don't know. The lady will have to put it together. Mel says she sounds absolutely lovely. Tell her thank you. Sleep well, and it's nice to have met you. It's very nice to have met you. We do story time every Tuesday and Thursday, Pacific Standard Time. And the lady herself gets on Sundays to do stories as well. Belinda says you have a lovely voice. We're very glad to have you, Mel. Very glad. Yeah, Michael lurks here often. I'll probably see you again. Good night. Good night, Michael. Rest well, my friend. Esther says thank you for sharing such a captivating story along with delicious sandwiches, waffles, and lively shanties. Yes, indeed. You have a tenacious following, friend. We'll get there. Well, and yeah, and I think it'd just be fun thing, like a goal for the community to set to, have something funny happen. Because I don't want to ask you guys for things. You guys already give us so much by just showing up. But it's still a fun thing to do. I don't know. You guys like doing all the community building stuff, so I feel bad asking you guys for anything because you always do so much for us. Molly, good night. Goblins, good night. Rest well, everyone. If you're on Twitch, we are going to raid out to share the love. But for everybody else, this is where we end for the night. It was a spectacular privilege to be your storyteller for the evening. Thank you for joining us in the tavern. And until the next time that we all gather, my friends, I will bid you all stay bloodthirsty, and we will see you next time. Good night.